I am joined by a wrestling legend, a man that has wrestled all over the world, beaten some of the very best, trained some of the very best, past and future. He is the man known as Rip Rogers. Rip, thanks so much for joining us today. How you feeling?
Oh, greatest of many fucking monsters, as Nick Goodles would say.
Now, I understand you just had hip surgery. How's that going?
Oh, it's a piece of shit, I'll tell you. Got a total fucking hip replacement on the left goddamn side. Got rid of the walker. I'm on a fucking cane now. So earlier I was supposed to have the OVW practice on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm texting my guys what to do so they can have practice on their own without me yelling and cussing and screaming at them and calling them dumbasses.
So, before we discuss your career and all the places you worked and who you've trained, I understand you actually caught Monday Night Raw for the first time in a long time the other night. What'd you think about Raw?
Well, I shouldn't knock anything on the air, but I will anyway. So that's the way it is. No, I hadn't watched wrestling on TV since 2003. It's a shitty product. The last 2 weeks, I watched SmackDown, and I watched most of fucking Raw. And when you're the only show in town, nothing matters. It's like when I watch the NFL, you're put on TV as the greatest professional football player. Major League Baseball, the greatest baseball players. The NBA, hell, they're the greatest fucking players. And now I put on wrestling on fucking TV, and old timers just shake their fucking head over the guys that are fucking single and double A baseball players put on TV as Major League. But when you're the only show in town, if there's Pepsi and there ain't no fucking Coke, it don't goddamn matter.
Yeah.
But the lack of fundamentals, the unwritten rules that they fucking break is unbelievable to old timers. But pretty soon all the old timers will be dead and nobody will know anyway. So you'll think Daniel Bryan is the world's goddamn greatest technical fucking wrestler in the world, and the old timers just sort of chuckle.
But what did you say? Daniel Bryan is definitely one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. I mean, compared to a lot of the guys that don't even cover the shoulder when they go for a pin. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, like, he's one of the best in the business. Like him, Randy Orton. I mean, those guys seem to have a grasp on, what makes a good worker. I mean, obviously you know better than I do, but I'm saying compared to the rest of the roster, I'd say those two are certainly head and shoulders above everybody, right?
I never even seen Daniel until last night in my life.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, I saw something at the end where he was trading blows with Randy Orton. Now, I was there in Lexington when Randy was born, and I worked with his dad and worked with his grandpa, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I see Daniel, and I'm shocked because he looks like an indie guy. Looks like he weighs about 175 pounds, wearing a goddamn shirt, looking like a fucking goat. Now, if you're going to push a guy as a technical wrestler, you don't have a guy with outstriking a bigger fucking opponent. You use finesse if you're a goddamn wrestler. Then when the opening's there, you get on top.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a goddamn welterweight beating up a goddamn fucking heavyweight. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I know wrestling's is phony. Vince has exposed the business. It's not real. It's not fucking entertainment. But, and I can't get... Damn it, I still think it's real, okay? And treat it as such.
Yes.
So when I get on there and I'm over-fucking critical, that'd be like goddamn Bobby Knight watching NBA basketball, and he can't fucking take it because everybody's traveling, everybody's using the crab dribble, everybody's jump stopping, which is a goddamn traveling. Nobody can create off their fucking dribble. And as a fucking coach of any major sport, you break stuff down on fucking tape.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm watching this shit, I just goddamn shake my head and I can't watch it. But the reason I can't watch it is because WWE is the greatest fucking media outlet in the fucking world. They control the whole son of a bitch, right?
Yeah.
They got fucking Raw, they got goddamn SmackDown, they got the Eon fucking thing, they got all this shit, they got all these fucking guys. But if they would teach them old school, which Vince is a goddamn marketing genius, so he knows that when, if he really wants to, all of a sudden he can work old school and business will fucking double. But in the meantime, he can sell fucking dolls, lunch boxes, and whatever, and everybody's fucking dancing. Everybody looks the same. But when you're an employee for any boss, You do exactly what the goddamn boss says, and you will get employment. You can't get mad at the young guys for making all this fucking money and living their dream and busting their goddamn balls. They're just doing what they're told. So, and then we got every agent there that, hell, they're all old guys like me, and they're scared of getting goddamn fired. So, if Vince likes if Vince likes 3 clotheslines bump feet for no goddamn reason, what are we going to give him? Goddamn 3 clotheslines bump feet for no goddamn fucking reason, even though the babyface is outstriking the goddamn heel, and it makes no goddamn sense. You know, a comeback is supposed to be retribution. Watch any fucking movie. You know, if fucking Frankenstein's biting a fucking every woman's head off at the end of fucking the babyface that was selling the Vince, you want to bite off Frankenstein's head. But anyway, I'm rambling. So sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Do you feel like the guys right now in NXT and previously in FCW got a bad rap? Because a lot of guys that do come up right now are quite green, don't know basic fundamentals. But if you look at the credentials of some of those guys, I mean, like Norman Smiley, Ricky Steamboat, I mean, those guys know how to work. Those guys know what they're doing. So do you feel like their hands are kind of tied by Vince and the powers that be?
Yes. Yes. I just think, here's Ricky Steamboat. He's 60 years old, right? Mm-hmm. Had some health issues. World's greatest babyface in my time. I mean, that was a babyface, not a character babyface, but a real babyface. Looked great, moved like a fucking cat, outstanding fucking technical wrestler, so goddamn coordinated, could fucking sell, fire, come back, blah, blah, blah. You know, but then all of a sudden, if he's told in the Performance Center, we don't want any chain wrestling. In the Performance Center, we don't want any real competitive tie-ups. In the Performance Center, since guys really don't know how to wrestle, we're going to give them shortcuts with 8,000 moves for no goddamn reason, 122 kickouts off big moves, so no big, you know. I watched that goddamn Dolph Ziggler. What a fucking performer he was with Del Rio. I said, holy shit. But you're getting this fucking talent. What are you doing a fucking pay-per-view?
Yeah.
You know, it used to be you'd have fucking matches on TV to get people over. Then you would pay to see them in the goddamn house shows. You'd work their angles and get them by a pay-per-view. They're giving them goddamn pay-per-view matches on television, scared that people are going to change the channel. But if you're, it's like, and the announcers, they just do what they're goddamn told. They're getting screamed at. No, plug the pay-per-view. Plug the Bella Twins splits or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or plug the app.
Or Gordon Soley talking about the fucking action. But then again, you can't knock them for success. Hell, they're showing a profit every goddamn quarter. If it's 24 to 26 cents per, it don't make any difference. They're still showing a goddamn profit. So Vince is a goddamn fucking genius. He can always backtrack. Hey, just think. You know, with MMA, what it is, people buy wrestling, and you know you don't have to fucking really do much to get a submission on somebody or whatever. So just think, what if he come out, ladies and gentlemen, because of the money in MMA and the ratings it has, from now on, all the contests in the World Wrestling Entertainment are real. Holy shit! I can't wait to see Cena against goddamn Brock. It's going to be fucking real. Goddamn, I want to buy that shit. It's all the same old shit.
Yeah.
It's like goddamn Jack Pfeffer. This is goddamn how many goddamn years ago, he would advertise in Chicago, real wrestling. A couple weeks later, phony wrestling. Come see the difference. And it would be the same old shit.
Yeah.
So it's irrelevant. Now I'm fucking rambling, so cut me off.
You mentioned you saw Del Rio versus Ziggler. I'm assuming you saw their match on SmackDown?
Yeah, it was last night.
Yeah, I caught that. Awesome match. Now, you worked with Dolph Ziggler at OVW, right?
Just a little bit when he came in. It was one of the many times I got fired by OVW. I mean by fucking WWE.
And did you see the talent in him when you started working with him, or was he still really too green to tell?
No. He was an amateur wrestling, looked great, very, very athletic, but knew nothing. What you're going to see is there aren't any naturals in this fucking business. Everybody starts out as a kindergartner.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
There ain't people that says, "Oh, that guy's great." An old fucker can look at this guy in 30 seconds and say, "Well, he's got the basics," you know. Or you can look at this guy and no, you're wasting your time. He ain't never going to get it, you know.
Right, and Ziggler, to me, is a glaring example, at least in my opinion, of some just questionable booking over the years, right? Because he's a guy to me that was always kind of ready for a while to break out into the main events. Finally, this year, he cashed in his Money in the Bank. He won the world title, got a crazy reaction. You know, they did this double turn with him and Del Rio a couple months back, which I thought was a little premature, but I thought, you know what? If you're going to do it, you might as well do it with Del Rio and Ziggler, because those guys are good and they know, you know, they're pretty damn good in the ring. They made it believable. And ever since then, he's just been losing left and right. And then the year before, when you looked like he was ready to finally become a full-time main eventer, they broke him down. They gave him a losing streak. Then they rebuilt him again. Why do they do this? Why do they essentially build up a guy, then break him down, then build him up, and then break him down again, when I feel like it kind of hurts their drawing power by the time they finally do prop him up to main event status?
No. You're human. Look at the San Francisco 49ers Kaepernick, right?
Right.
He was the fucking star. The first game this year, he throws fucking 400 yards. Now he can't do shit since then, right?
Right.
It's real. It's reality. It's a sport. You're in a fucking slump. Hey, when Rocky's fighting Apollo Creed, Rocky's training Creed. They're both doing their best. They're both training their balls off, right?
Right.
It's a goddamn sport. You know what I mean?
No, I understand, but when it's... I mean, I think I wouldn't have as much of a problem with it if it was like one guy, but I feel like the last... I'd say dating back to like 2009 when they did the same thing with MVP. You know what I mean? Like from like the last 4 or 5 years, they've done this with multiple guys at the same time having losing streaks. And I don't know. I think it gets old after a while when you do it with the same guys over and over.
It's old. Check the goddamn sports pages out.
Yeah.
The fucking Oakland A's, they fucking slide in. The fucking Texas Rangers, they go on a goddamn win streak in Major League Baseball, right?
Right.
We're going to go to the NFL canal. Somebody's going to go on a winning streak. They're going to make the goddamn fucking playoffs. This is goddamn reality fucking booking.
Yeah.
And everybody in the company should not be on a win streak or it's phony.
Right. Well, I'm not necessarily saying win streak, but I'm saying win more often than not as opposed to losing almost every single time you're on TV when you were just the world champion.
Well, they killed the world champions. They got too many belts.
Mm-hmm.
They do so much, in my opinion, horse shit. But they're billionaires, and I'm a fucking poor fucker, so it don't fucking matter. You know.
Yeah.
It's like when Bruno had the belt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go and he has the belt for seven goddamn years or whatever, right?
Right.
He was like Joe Lewis in fucking boxing, Rocky Marciano in fucking boxing. You fucking lose, it's a goddamn upset. You don't have to be bumped the rest, 92 fucking fall. Fucking Bruno got beat in the fucking middle. It's goddamn complete fucking silence. Holy shit, he lost. I never thought I'd see it. It's fucking reality. You act like it's goddamn fucking real.
Yeah. No, I understand. Now, the Daniel Bryan storyline, I don't know how much you've been following it with Triple H and Randy Orton and this whole good for business thing. I feel like they've really kind of buried a lot of their baby faces over the last couple months. And one of the ways they've kind of done it, and we were talking about this off the air, the 11-on-3 handicap match with the Shield, who are heels, taking on 11 baby faces. Now, of course, they destroyed a majority of them, except for Bryan and a couple other guys. But if back in your day, someone went up to you, and you're a booker, and they said, "Hey, Rip, I think we should do an 11-on-3 handicap match," what would your reaction be?
Well, I would just laugh, and I'd say, "Well, that's why you're not the fucking booker. You're a goddamn retard." Yeah, you gotta remember, Vince oversees everything, right?
Right.
So what he says is goddamn gospel. So he can fuck with everybody, and it can be a hell of a rib. He's just fucking chuckling because he knows he's the only show in town. It don't matter.
Yeah.
We can do everything backwards in traditional fucking wrestling because I said so. You know, I can have the XFL because I said so. I can do the Snake River Canyon because I said so. I can do the World Bodybuilding Federation because I said so. I can change all the rules of wrestling because I can. That's just the way it is.
No, with Brian as it pertains to feuding with Randy Orton and Triple H, because we have a lot of people that are split on this storyline. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm kind of in the middle because what happened was Daniel Bryan, of course, won the title. Orton cashed in after Triple H pedigreed him, and Bryan was dead for like 10 minutes. Orton just pinned him. And for the next, I think, 7-8 shows, all you saw was Bryan getting laid out. He finally wins the title at Night of Champions, the last pay-per-view. Gets stripped of the title. Gets RKO'd. He's won a few matches here and there since then, but I feel like the feud's just been really lopsided where Bryan just keeps getting attacked, keeps getting screwed over, yet he doesn't go for revenge on Triple H. He doesn't go for revenge on Randy Orton. As a guy that obviously knows what he's talking about, when do you kind of draw the line between, how much a heel gets and a face gets in a feud?
Well, first of all, you got to look at what you're looking at the end of the rainbow, right?
Right.
That's like I'm wrestling with goddamn you. Okay, you're a babyface. I'm the heel. You're winning. You're not getting none of your shit in. You're not. No. I'm taking 90% of the match. Why? You're winning. Or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Right.
So all this stuff it's like when I was booking, I had everything in my book a year in advance. I knew what I wanted at the end of the rainbow, and then when it's payoff time at the end, it will all make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to do that then. But now if you're the only fucking show in town, and you got how many hours of fucking worldwide fucking television, it don't fucking matter. Because they can't draw a fucking house. That's like they had, they were in Baton Rouge. Goddamn, we used to go to watch every 2-3 weeks and do more people than they would do with just our fucking local guys.
Mm-hmm.
Their last house show was, they did 3,000 people in fucking Atlanta. And fucking Oldie sold the goddamn Omni out, 17,000 plus 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
A weekly goddamn town at the fucking Omni when they did that. And here we got the fucking big ass fucking company with worldwide fucking stars, and we're doing 3,000 people at a goddamn house show. So, at the end of the fucking quarter, they're still showing a goddamn profit, so it don't really goddamn matter.
Yeah. And as it pertains with Daniel Bryan, when he did beat John Cena in August, I mean, you know as well as I do, not a lot of people beat John Cena these days, and he pinned John Cena clean in the middle of the ring. I know they wanted to do this feud with Orton and Triple H and Bryan and all that, but don't you also risk, kind of killing a guy's momentum? Like when a guy's hot like Bryan, where he beats Cena, it's an improbable win. It's like, oh my god, this dude just pinned John Cena clean. When's the last time anybody's beaten John Cena clean? If you're in a position as a booker, would you just run with him as champion, or would you kind of screw him over right away and then have him just continue to chase for the title?
No, you always have upset. Right?
Right.
Look at goddamn look at MMA, and then you got Anderson Silva, right?
Yeah, Chris Weidman.
Yeah, you get all these guys, John Bones Jones and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got guys fighting. Remember when Brock first started? And he fucking beat the fuck out of the guy, and the guy got the goddamn ankle lock on him, and it was over, right?
Yeah, the first Frank Mir fight.
Yeah, because it's goddamn real. You know what I mean?
Right.
All you gotta do, why can't John Cena give up? Why can't Bruno give up? Why can't Buddy Rogers give up? Why can't fucking Steve Austin give up? No, it's fucking reality. Why can't fucking Dusty give up? Why can't Hulk Hogan give up?
You know what? That's a great point. I'm sorry to interrupt real quick. That's a great point because I feel the tap. I think the fact that baby faces don't tap is like or anybody doesn't tap anymore except for the mid card guys is so like I don't know, man. I think it's an old mentality. I think like what you're saying, like they should make the submission more of a part of wrestling. Like there's no shame in tapping. If you don't tap, the guy's gonna snap your arm. I mean, hey, you got caught.
Yeah, it's reality booking. Now the one thing I would do, which don't matter because I ain't fucking there anyway. I'd make every match a 2 out of 3 fall match, right? So let's just say we got Daniel Orton against fucking Daniel Bryan against Randy fucking Orton, right?
Right.
You got the goddamn yes lock, and fucking Randy's got his fucking RKO, right?
Hmm.
So that's simple. First fall the fucking heel take. They face the underdog. Randy beats him clean with the R fucking KO. Every title match a 2 out of 3 fall match. The second fall, the yes block beats fucking Randy Orton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you've legitimized both main eventers. They can both give up to a fucking simple goddamn hold, and in the third fall, you work your swerve fall like you would usually do instead of what they do just in the first fall.
Mm-hmm.
You see it? You understand?
Yes.
And you know, all of a sudden, fucking Daniel Bryan, you know, it's like when they abuse each other's finish hold. Never in my life when I had a finish hold did anybody ever kick out. I just didn't give it to them.
Yeah, and now you're saying just the main event should have 2 to 3 falls, not every match like CMLL in Mexico.
No, not every match, but you made the fucking world title something special because you don't want a fluke finish, let's just say, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like WWE. They don't have no fucking time. The only time they have a goddamn time limit is when it's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
They don't announce a time. They don't have a fucking time thing. And then it's like it's a goddamn rib. Hell, I put on goddamn YouTube. I got 2 guys working 90 minutes. When I get back, I'm going to have 2 guys go 2 hours.
Yeah.
To put it on goddamn YouTube.
Yeah.
They have a fucking 30-minute Iron Man match. What a goddamn rib. Fucking the old days, that's just fucking business as usual standards. You couldn't go.
Hey, Rip?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I thought we lost you there. Yeah, go on.
Okay, no, I'm just fucking lambing.
No, it's all good. Now, Rip, I'm looking at some of your old photos here, man. You had a great physique. Look like a bodybuilder. Why'd you decide to go into the wild world of pro wrestling in the first place?
Well, I was a fat kid growing up in Seymour, Indiana. So when I'm 14 years, I started training when I was 14 when I saw a goddamn picture of Sergio Oliva, who was the second Mr. Olympia winner, well, after Larry Scott won the first 2. And I saw Sergio on the goddamn cover. And I got my Sears weights and my Charles Atlas course, blah, blah, blah. So all of a sudden, by the time I graduate from Seymour High School, I'm 18 years old. I got goddamn 18-inch biceps.
Yeah.
I was a fucking nut.
So who mentored you in the business? Who took you under their wing? Who was your Rip Rogers when you were coming up in the business?
First of all, there wasn't no wrestling schools, right?
Yeah.
So I'm struggling, trying to figure out how to get in the goddamn wrestling business. So there's this guy, now Tom Zupanzik, he was I went to college with Tom Zupanzik. Now Zupo, he was with the Colts for 28 years and he quit last year. But he was strength coach of the year. He was on the 1980 Olympic team. He was the alternate, not the first guy, but the alternate Greco-Roman super heavyweight wrestler for the United States in the 1980 Olympics, the one they didn't go to in Afghanistan or whatever the fuck it was. Mm-hmm. So anyway, he used to hold the world necklace record. So I'm going to University of Indianapolis, and me and Zuko's on the football team. He goes, hey, Scary. My nickname was Scary. He goes, hey, look at Indianapolis Star. It says one of sparring partners. So some guy, his name was Masher Stevens, and he wasn't even smart for the business. He had a ring up in the old VFW club in Indianapolis on Michigan Street. So I go up there and I meet some guys, and I end up, about 8 guys I met there, we ended up having pro matches and whatever. But it was just a ring, and guys, just like the stars of today do, doing shit we saw on TV for no reason, just doing a goddamn moves. Hell, I'm watching Dick the Bruiser on TV. I'm watching Wilbur Snyder on TV. I'm watching Paul Christie on TV. I'm watching Ox Baker and Hanson Jimmy Valiant on fucking TV. I'm copying them doing what they do, right? Hell, I'm just playing fucking wrestling. So I'm writing shit down in my goddamn notebook. So, anyway, that's sort of the story of how I got into business. So cut me off if I start going. Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say back then, of course, there were a bunch of territories, and you worked pretty much everywhere, right?
Well, there were some territories I didn't work, but I was always going to. Well, that's like when I was anyway. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Ask me fucking questions, so I get sidetracked and shit.
It's all good. I was gonna say, now you see with WWE, right? When they take a guy, I mean, they've been signing a lot of independent talent the last couple years. But if it's somebody that wasn't just developed in their performance center or in FCW or NXT, whatever, they kind of hold it against them because of the fact that they kind of got their start on the independent level and learned.
No. They want to make money.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: it's easier for me to train a guy off the street than a lot of independent guys. Independent guys, they got a hitch in their swing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They already got bad habits. If I can take a guy who's never been in the ring before, you can teach him proper fundamentals and a proper attitude. Because once guys start doing indies, they sort of get ruined and they do fucking shortcuts. They just copy shit on fucking TV and they're positioning wrong and do dangerous shit because hell, they get to have two matches a month, right?
Right.
It'd be like playing slow pitch softball or tackle football with no pads, just trying to play like to the NFL or fucking Major League Baseball. You're playing City League basketball, acting like you're fucking LeBron James, right?
Mm-hmm.
And indie guys, most of them, all their fundamentals are wrong. Hell, they just copy shit on fucking television. So if there's no sequencing there, if there's no psychology there, an old guy will look at him and say, well, you know, he's green. Well, we got to break him down, and we got to start over again.
Right.
They want to make money. You know what I mean?
No, I understand. I was also that's a great point you make. I didn't think about that. I was more referring to the fact that anytime, I mean, you go back to say years ago when WCW was still in business, and a WCW guy would come into WWE, they'd have a quote unquote like stink on him. You know what I mean? Like WWE wouldn't push him or push him well, at least at first, because they weren't an original WWE guy. Now, did you ever get that sense of hostility when you travel from territory to territory, or was it
everywhere there was hostility? When you went into every territory had its guys that are there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I come in, that means somebody was fucking leaving. One of your buddies was getting fired, that's what that means. Mm-hmm. So if I'm coming in with the bleach blonde gimmick, that means the bleach blonde there, he'll be gone. I mean, let's say you're working a territory like Watts. If they got a Russian and they bring another Russian in, you know the other Russian's fucked.
Yeah.
Or another masked guy, another bald-headed guy, another guy with a valet, another black guy, another Mexican guy, another Puerto Rican guy, another Nazi Germany fucking gimmick. When they bring in something, because it's supposed to be like a goddamn circus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the fucking heel. Well, we got a goddamn giant. We got a fat man. We got the bully. We got a Nazi. We got a goddamn Russian. We got the one guy with the manager. We got fucking Kamala. We got King Kong. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You give them one of everything. Now, goddamn WWE, they all look the goddamn same. You know, it's all fucking cookie cutter, right?
Yeah, I mean, even like their big guys. They have a lot of big guys, and I have some people that were messaging me the other night on one of our recap shows. They're saying, "Oh, do you think Matt Morgan would be a great fit in WWE?" And no disrespect to Matt Morgan, but I'm like, look how many big guys they already got. They got Brock Lesnar. Brodus Clay's not a small guy. Tensai, aka Matt Bloom, Albert, he ain't a small guy. I mean, Biggie Langston's a pretty jacked dude. I mean, I can't think of some other guys off the top of my head, but they've got a bunch of big guys already. It's like if you have too many big guys, just they kind of get overshadowed. Like Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger's 6'6", but most people don't know that because he's overshadowed by the 6'7", 7-foot guys that are already on the roster.
Okay, great question. Now, remember years ago when you would have Andre,
yes,
who was booked by Vince Sr., Vince Jr. would be interviewing, and there'd be Andre standing on a box, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know it.
Yeah.
So he looked like he was 8 foot tall, right?
Yeah.
We kill our own business. I remember I had Big Show down at OVW, and I was teaching him how to work like a goddamn giant. I had Matt Morgan down there, right?
Yeah.
And then Matt called me when he was in TNA. He said, "Don't get mad at me." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I know I'm working like a goof. If you're a giant, you do 5 or 6. That's what I. Okay, it's like Kevin fucking Nash. Giants are not supposed to work like goddamn small guys. A giant could put a goddamn hammerlock on you and you give up because he's a goddamn giant.
Yeah.
So when you're a fucking giant, you do less because it makes you unique. And that's how you fucking stand. That's like Ronnie Garvin. I was schooled by goddamn Ronnie Garvin. Ronnie Garvin was 5'7". He didn't take no bumps. He beat the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
Because he knew how to project. You think he was goddamn 10 feet tall when he was in the goddamn fucking ring.
So you feel like there's like a lack of, I mean, it's probably more of a rhetorical question than an actual question. Do you feel like there's a lack of attention to detail? Because, I mean, like, something as simple as, I'll give you an example. I forgot, I don't know if it was in WWE, TNA, or whatever. I remember seeing one time a female authority figure, maybe it's Stephanie, maybe it's Karen, wear heels, and she was taller on screen than the world heavyweight champion.
Well, there's right ways and wrong ways, and then just the way it is. Like at OVW, we have our fucking announcer who was Dean Hill, was legit 6'7", right?
Yeah.
You know, the referees, ideally, is 120 pounds to make the guys look big. The announcer's small like Gordon Soley to make the wrestlers bigger than fucking life. The manager is a small guy. Now, we'd have Kenny Bolin as a manager. He's goddamn 500 pounds. We did everything for ours for budget reasons. But if you have the fucking power of television, and that's the only one there, it don't really goddamn matter.
Now, of course, and you mentioned Kenny Bolin. That's quite the character. You guys got a great crew in OVW. How has OVW been able to maintain its longevity, especially in life after WWE? Obviously, you guys right now have a developmental deal with TNA. But before that, I remember when WWE decided, hey, we're going to do this thing with Deep South. Hey, we're going to do this thing with FCW. Everybody's like, oh my God, OVW. You know, how long are they going to last? And here we are, 2013, going into 2014, still going strong.
Okay, when me and Danny started OVW, I've been a partner of his for goddamn probably 13 years, 14 years, I don't know what it is. But anyway, we knew that when you signed up with WWE, you were selling your soul to the devil. You also knew that you took it for as long as it was there, and then it would be gone. They had developmental in Memphis, it was gone. They had developmental in Cincinnati, it was gone. They had developmental in Deep South, it was gone. They had that developmental in Louisville. Now, Johnny Ace wanted the thing down in goddamn Tampa because it was where he was from. Now, why not? Now, just think, when you have minor league baseball, single A, rookie league, they're in places like Medford, Oregon, Pikeville, Kentucky, Kingsport, Tennessee, because you want no distraction. And for the young guys, you want them to do nothing but focus on their goddamn baseball. Now, here you are in goddamn redneck Louisville, and we had our own television shows. We run our own goddamn spot shows, and we put them to fucking class every goddamn day. And even though they're all fucking green, they were half-assed kicking it up.
So do you think? So you definitely think there's a direct correlation between the DUIs over the last few years and the Tampa area with developmental talent, and the fact that, well, it's in Florida. I mean, there's a lot of distractions in Florida, as you said, compared to Louisville.
Well, let's just say when they go down to fucking Tampa, Orlando, wherever they're at, you see guys getting more DUIs and getting in trouble. There ain't too much shit to do in goddamn Louisville, Kentucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be like, well, hell, you might as well put them in Los Angeles and ask a young guy to stay out of trouble. Ain't gonna happen. Trouble's gonna find you.
Yeah, and in OVW, do you have a hand? I'd imagine you have some say in the creative process. I know you're the trainer there, but back when you guys worked with WWE, did you have a say in the creative process at all?
Did we have what?
Did you have a say in the creative process and how the matches were put together, how everything was booked as far as like the angles and stuff?
In OVW?
Yeah, back when you guys were working with WWE.
No, I didn't do TV. All I did was class.
Okay. But did you ever get frustrated? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When I did TV, Danny was CEO, and I was the trainer.
Okay.
And nobody ever went to my class. Nobody ever told me what to fucking do. They knew I could do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
WWE would bring guys up. I had to train guys both ways, as babyface and heel, right?
Yeah.
Because first they'd say this guy's going to be a babyface. You train him as a babyface, and they'd bring him up as a goddamn heel. Then they would also, guys had to earn your fucking stripes to be on the OVW television show. But WWE they'd be bringing up guys that weren't even good enough to be on the OVW television show and putting them on their goddamn fucking roster.
That was actually what I was going to ask you about, because I remember hearing a few interviews with Jim Cornette where he just expressed, and even Danny Davis, they just expressed like regret and frustration, because it's like, here you are training a guy, you know in the back of your mind he's not ready, yet they call him up anyway and put him in a position to fail. Or maybe a guy is ready, like for example, say like Doug Basham and Damaja, and they're in the middle of this major blood feud, and all of a sudden they have Doug Basham shave his head and they put these guys in a tag team.
Well, you got to remember, if I'm goddamn Vince McMahon, and I'm paying, I don't give a fuck what happens in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm looking at the big picture for my fucking worldwide event, right?
Right.
And you got to look at it as that way. Oh, okay. They brought this guy out. He ain't ready. They don't care. Well, okay. He's fucking giving you fucking money to train him. He's giving you money to keep that goddamn roof open, right?
Right.
He's helped buying our goddamn cameras and editing equipment by him supplementing our goddamn income. So when you're the boss, you can't be wrong. When you're the boss and you're fucking paying people, hey, if George Steinbrenner says, hey, I want fucking Bryce Harper out of fucking A-ball and fucking center field for the Yankees tomorrow, that's what goddamn happens, because he's the boss.
Right.
And that's just the way it fucking is. So you gotta, all you can do is play your fucking poker hand with the cards you're dealt with, right?
Yeah, and make the most out of it.
And do the best of your ability to, it's like what I was telling you, when I was broke into business, I didn't go to a fucking wrestling school. I learned in the fucking ring. I was mentored by all old fuckers, right? Mm-hmm. So I tell everybody, I've made every goddamn stupid mistake there is 100 times over. But when I'm telling you something, it ain't to be an asshole to make you look stupid. I'm telling you, here's the fucking, here's the answer to the what's in fucking Colonel Sanders' secret fucking recipe. Because I know, because I failed 100 times. Now you're going to go off and try and reinvent the goddamn wheel, which ain't going to fucking happen. And then 10 years from now, you're going to say, well, that old fucker was right. And that's just the way it is. No matter what generation you're in, there's people are basically the same. You got good and fucking evil. Good guy versus goddamn bad guy. And anybody that's a fucking tweeners have killed the fucking business. It's like in the old days, you would work and you would be like, you come in as a fucking heel. After they've seen your act for about a goddamn year, they don't hate this bad because they're used to you. So now you would fucking turn babyface. I never goddamn did. I would just fucking leave and go somewhere else because I always wanted to come back as a goddamn heel.
Yeah.
Now in WWE, every 3 fucking weeks, you don't know who anybody is. That's like when Hogan made his fucking turn to place with WCW, it just fucking erupted. He'd been a good guy for so many fucking years. Now, everybody in WWE, you have no idea what they fucking are. Because, it's like watching the fucking soap operas on TV. You always knew that fucking Victor or whatever, one of them soap operas, you could turn it on 20 years later, you knew he was the bad guy, no matter what. It's got to be fucking ingrained. He's a good guy, he's the fucking bad guy. Then when he fucking turns, it means something. It's just like fucking Sergeant Slaughter. When he was a good guy all those years, and he turned fucking evil. Then he turned fucking back, and basically he was over so fucking strong with that goddamn turn. People, after that, it was hard for him to get any fucking sympathy. They didn't, no, fuck you, motherfucker. You turned your back on the USA, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
Oh, they're killing him. Good. I remember that motherfucker turned his back on the USA. Fuck that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're talking about the turns, like people turning without even actually turning or being a tweener. I mean, a guy like The Miz, I think is a perfect example of that over the last year. I mean, he was a pretty good heel. I mean, a good cowardly heel. And then just out of the blue, turned him babyface without really turning him. And the crowd doesn't care about him. You had Alberto Del Rio, who, I talked about before. Awesome talent, but the guy was a heel late last year. Then they just had him randomly turn to a babyface, and then like a couple months later, it's like, hey, you know what? Let's make him a heel again. And it's just like, and people wonder why the guy's not over. It's like if you turn him babyface, turn him heel, turn him face. It's like he's turned 3 times in less than a year.
Okay, so in other words, you understand my point, right?
Yes.
But we're not looking at the end of the rainbow. All of a sudden, 20 weeks before WrestleMania, he can be the most evil heel motherfucker there is, right? Break everybody's goddamn arm in the fucking company with his fucking hole, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And people say, holy shit. No, with the power of television, you can make anybody believe anything. Whether it be a fucking phony Austin Stunner, El Sacco, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The power of television conquers fucking all. It's like it as a fucking rib, right?
Yeah.
You could take some skinny guy off the street, put him in there weighing 150 pounds, and do the fucking Goldberg gimmick with him, and everybody he submits on a fucking headlock. And in a year, everybody would believe it. That's like Ronnie Garvin. All of a sudden, he had hands of stone, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a fucking rib. He goes, oh, yeah, I got hands of stone. People are asking to see my fucking hands. Oh, what a rib.
Now, did you see? You said you watched Raw, so I'm guessing you did catch the segment with Santino where they played the flute and the Cobra.
Yeah. Okay, I love the comedy relief, but when they hit the flute shit, I couldn't take it. But like I told Santino, Santino is a legitimate fucking badass, right?
I heard he's legit one of the toughest guys on the roster, given his judo background.
Yeah, he's got the big goddamn Battle Arts Academy up there around Toronto. That was his fucking goal, to have that goddamn. It's a pro wrestling, mixed martial arts. It's fucking huge. That was his goddamn goal. And, and he said, I said, when he got this fucking thing, right? I said, this is awesome. You're going to do comedy because you're going to have longevity. Any badass don't last very long because pretty soon, hey, what happened when Mike Tyson's invincibility wore off? He was done, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, now all of a sudden he was just a fighter. But with comedy, it's like I always tell the guys, I said, boys, look, the average stint in WWE is 3.2 years. It's like an NFL running back. Now, that's including in the Heartbreak Kid, the Undertaker, blah, 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 so it's actually shorter than that. So if you can wrestle, you can get longevity. If you're doing comedy, hell, all they got to do is have somebody hit him with a fucking gimmick, knock him out, and all of a sudden he's a killer for a year, right? Then all of a sudden he gets hit again, and he's fucking Santino again.
Yeah.
But he's lasted for years and years and years there, doing goddamn comedy, and they hadn't scratched the surface for him as far as wrestling. Why do they have him do that? Because Eddie Graham, who's the greatest promoter for fucking wrestling, like in Tampa, they draw big-ass fucking money down there. He wanted legitimate wrestling. But he'd also throw in the girls, the midgets, the fat man. He'd bring in the original goddamn Sheik. He'd have fucking somebody else doing comedy because you can't have fucking steak at every goddamn meal because no matter how good it is, you get sick of it. That's like years ago in the old WWF, Hulk Hogan would go on last. So before him, Les Thornton, who used to be the NWA the Englishman, the old junior heavyweight champion, a great fucking wrestler, would go out and bore him to death in a 30-minute wrestling match. So when Hogan's music fucking hit, and people were so fucking bored with fucking wrestling, then Hogan would come out and fucking music, pose, rip his goddamn shirt off, point the motherfucker. Now they were fucking ready because WWE, they want everybody to run. If everybody's running, then going fast means nothing.
Yeah.
You gotta slow fucking down. The circus. If I watch 10 fucking bearded lady acts in a fucking row, it gets fucking old. No, I need the bearded lady, the sword swallower, the guy with the 8 arms, the guy with fucking 3 dicks, the guy with fucking 4 assholes or whatever. That's the fucking circus. When I go to the goddamn tit bar, there ain't 30 fucking bleached blondes with boob jobs. No, we got the fucking Asian girl, we got the black girl, we got the Hispanic girl, we got the redhead, we got the brunette, we got the fucking blonde, we got the girl with no titties and the big butt, then we got the fat girl doing the comedy act. And wrestling's the same goddamn way. Anyway, I was on a roll.
No, that was pretty funny. With guys, do you believe that most guys should be brought up, assuming they have some type of real potential? For example, a guy like you mentioned, Santino, who's got a legit badass background. Do you think more often than not should be brought up as serious characters first, and if that doesn't work out, then tweak them to comedy characters? Or do you think it doesn't matter either way? I feel like if you bring a guy as a serious character at first, if it doesn't work out, you could always make him into kind of like a lovable comedy character. Whereas if you do it the other way around, it's tougher for people to take him seriously after that. What do you think?
Well, I never really thought about that, so I'm not gonna have an opinion on it.
Okay.
You know, like a lot of times, what they would do, it's like in the old days, like when superstar Billy Graham was there and he was a champ, right? Then he leaves, come back a couple years later, and all of a sudden he's got a goddamn karate gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? But a lot of people, the wrestling audience is a continual turnover. New young people and new old people watching, right?
Yeah.
So you might have watched fucking Ric Flair and go, who the hell's that? I never seen him before, right? There's new people watching wrestling. So they say, oh, this Daniel Bryan's the greatest fucking wrestler in the fucking world. They didn't know who fucking the Funks were or Jack fucking Briscoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like asking a fucking kid today, we're talking about goddamn Ted Williams, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth. Well, who's that in pro basketball? We're talking about Oscar goddamn Robinson, who averaged a fucking triple-double, right? Without fucking trying to. You know? Well, who's he? Oh, I don't know. You know? But that's catering to a few, and I'm on a fucking roll again. Sorry.
Well, no, I like the fact you brought up Oscar Robertson, because we do cover basketball on TheSportsCourier.com, too, and I just on a basketball-related note, yeah, and I guess you kind of relate it to wrestling. You know, when people talk about greatest of all time, it's like people talk about like Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, you know, but they and occasionally Magic and Bird, but they overlook like Oscar Robertson. They overlook Wilt Chamberlain sometimes. They overlook what's it? Like, Julius Erving, guys like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like,
yeah.
do you just feel like, and I feel like with wrestling, outside of guys like Dave Meltzer and some other historians, I feel like wrestling's history gets lost. Why do you think that is? Is it just because of the fact that sometimes WWE doesn't seem to care too much about history unless it makes some money? Is it the fact that there needs to be more people out there keeping track of different eras? And why do you feel like wrestling's history isn't as preserved as, say, like basketball or football, baseball?
Okay, I'm going to start talking, and you're going to have to tell me when to shut up, okay?
Okay.
Because I'm a fucking idiot savant on every goddamn legitimate sport, okay? Okay, now just think about everybody thinks their generation is the best. But what you do is you look at every generation. Whoever dominates their generation is the best of that generation. Can you imagine Babe Ruth? Here he is, hitting 59 home runs the first year they livened the ball up, which he had 59 home runs, and that was more than 2 teams. That's how good he was. When he retired, he had 714 home runs, even though he was a pitcher the first 5 goddamn years of his career, right? Now we're looking at fucking Wilt Chamberlain. Here's somebody that got 55 rebounds in one game against Bill Russell. Here's somebody that scored 100 points in a game with the Philadelphia Warriors in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Here's somebody, there's only 8 teams in the NBA. So you're playing against the 8 greatest centers in the fucking world every night. Yeah. And he's dominating that way.
Yeah.
That's how good they fucking were.
Yeah.
Now we got 30-some fucking teams, guys that are fucking ribbed, drafting fucking high school guys. Well, they got to be 19, right?
Well, the one and done rule, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a fucking rib. But anyway, and then we have it's like the fucking NFL, right?
Yeah.
You watch the old fucking Ed Sable, Steve Sable shit, where they're fucking killing the goddamn quarterback, and now it's a fucking pussy league. In the old days, you just tore your knee up, you kicked it on, and then you went. I never missed a match because of illness or fucking injury in fucking pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I tore my fucking quad working with fucking Lord Regal in goddamn England in 1992. We continued to have a 40 fucking minute match. Why? Well, that's just the way it was supposed to be. In the old days, if you got hurt, well, they would maybe keep you off one day. If it was 2 days, they just fired you. The show must go goddamn on. Now a guy gets a fucking hangnail, and they're off for a year. It's a fucking joke, and it's a goddamn rib, but I guess that's fucking that's progress.
Yeah.
That's like now, in the old days, you would really tear your knee up in the ring, so then they'd work an angle and really show the surgeon going in, blah, blah, blah. Now you hurt your fucking knee. They announce for fucking 3 months you've hurt your fucking knee. Then they fucking shoot an angle. that, yeah, they tell everybody it's phony. They tell everybody it's goddamn entertainment. But we want you to buy our pay-per-view, and all of a sudden it's real because The Rock, and I love The Rock, but he's going to work the goddamn main event, and he's a goddamn actor now. And can you imagine that? Now we're going to take a goddamn actor without practicing, and he's going to go out and have a main event against some guy fucking wrestler. Just trying to draw goddamn. Even though we told people it's phony and it's entertainment, but we're shooting angles like it's goddamn real.
Mm-hmm.
So which one is it? Either it's fucking real or it's fucking phony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, I was rambling. Sorry.
No, that's all right. And you talk about working injured, working hurt. There's a lot of guys from your generation that are still around. You know, yourself, of course. You got Dutch Mantel. Now Zeb Coulter in WWE. Jerry the King Lawler, just to name a few. Why is it that some guys from your generation ended up better than other guys from this previous generation, the one from the 90s, the late 80s and 90s, where unfortunately we saw a lot of guys die very young age, 30, 40 years old?
Well, okay, a couple things. Number one, if you wanted to make it big in WWE, you had to be on the gas. That's the way it was. The unwritten rule. And all my buddies that did it, most of them did. Okay? That's just the way it fucking was.
Yeah.
So now as far as people getting good, you got to remember, once Vince went big time, within fucking years, Hawaii was gone. L.A. was fucking gone. San Antonio as a territory was fucking gone. Bruiser was gone. The old Sheik was gone. Knoxville was fucking gone. You know what I mean? Territories, they fucking died. Now, in the old days, you go out, and I tell people, go out, learn your fucking craft, work 3,000 matches, work 10 years, and you'll start to have a fucking clue. Now there ain't nowhere to learn. By the time the 90s rolls around, WCW is signing goofballs because there ain't nowhere to learn. There ain't nowhere to have to get a fucking experience.
Yeah.
Before you'd learn your fucking craft, have 3,000 fucking matches, and now you're ready to fucking work for WWE. You might be ready to work for Tanya. You might be ready to work for fucking Charlotte, Eddie Graham, or whatever. But you had to be fucking good, and you would go around to different fucking territories, and you'd learn to work underneath babyface. You learn to work underneath heel. You learn to work tag situations. You learn to work different gimmicks. They say, no, we want you to be a bump man. We want you to be a cowardly heel. We want you to be an aggressive fucking heel. We want you to work this fucking style so everything's fucking business. So it's like the old Hollywood system years ago, like Universal Studios and stuff, or MGM or whatever, United Arts, whatever, when they had signed you, you'd get a fucking a weekly fucking check, you'd make goddamn movies, but they taught you how to act in comedy. They taught you fucking drama. They taught you how to fucking dance. Every actor could fucking sing. Every actor could fucking dance. Now all of a sudden they make somebody like Arnold, he don't know how to dance, so we're going to take 3 months to teach him how to do a fucking a ballroom waltz or fucking something. So the movie business was like the goddamn fucking wrestling business. So instead of fucking guys, when they get there, they're already a fucking pro. Now we're taking juice off the fucking street because they're a wrestler's son, they're related to fucking somebody, or you're a goddamn freak or whatever, and we'll make a star out of you. The easiest thing the world is to do is like fucking Goldberg and Ryback.
Yeah.
You just beat people. And you beat fucking stars, and it makes you fucking take goddamn notice. It's simple, but you can't do that with fucking everybody. That's like fucking Ryback. He was down there working that goddamn in Louisville. Hell, they fired him twice. Hell, he was working a fucking Smoky Bones barbecue to try and get a guy to put, had his fucking little shorts on and everything, try and put the fucking, after they cut him to make it back.
Yeah.
Hell, they cut goddamn Damian Sandow. He kept fucking going. He went to fucking Puerto Rico and fucking worked. He never fucking gave up. And now look at the goddamn cocksucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
Anyway, I was fucking rambling. Sorry about that.
No, Damian Sandow, yeah, he's a guy that worked really hard. Aaron Stevens, he was actually on the main roster for a little bit, and then they sent him back. I think they sent him to probably would have been FCW by that point, or Deep South, and then they cut him, he was brought back, reinvented himself. I just don't like the way they're booking him lately. The guy wins the Money in the Bank. He's the number one contender, and I know what you're saying, Rip, where you say guys can't win all the time, and I agree with you there. But if a guy's your number one contender, or supposedly your number one contender, or a future contender, wouldn't you try to protect him more often than not, as opposed to having him lose every match ever since he's won that briefcase?
Hey, first of all, I don't believe in the briefcase. Okay, it's total
Yeah.
so let's forget about that shit to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing in the fucking history is table ladders and chairs, EC fucking W, ladder goddamn fucking matches, gauntlet fucking matches, the three-way fucking dance, and fucking them fucking shitty ass fucking divas. They can't fucking wrestle. Wrestling, throwing fucking strikes and clothesline with their fucking 3-inch fucking arm. To an old fucker, it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? So channel changer, no.
Okay, well,
okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, okay, let's just say pretend the briefcase means the guy's the number one contender. Let's pretend like he just became number one contender and he has a future title match. Wouldn't you protect him more often than not, as opposed to having him lose? I mean, the guy, I could count on one hand how many matches he's won since July when he won that thing in the first place. I think like 2 or 3.
Okay, first of all, now don't think so much realism, okay?
Right.
When I used to work in Portland in 1979 and 80, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Manny Poffo booked me out there, so I was Buddy Rose's tag team partner, right?
Right.
So I'm out there, blah, 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 blah. Then I leave and come back, and I buy in with ICW, which is the three Poffos, Ronnie Garvin, Bob Root, Bob Orton Jr., etc. So I go out there back for 3 weeks to work a 3-week fucking program where me and Buddy and Ed Wiskowski are reforming the Army, and it looks like Piper was a heel, turned babyface. It's getting ready for him to fucking leave. So I come back in for three weeks, and all of a sudden on TV, I'm the number one fucking contender. How can I be the goddamn number one contender? Because on television they say I am, right?
Yeah.
So I beat everybody until the fucking loser of the fall fucking leaves in the fucking 6-man, and I fucking lose and I'm fucking gone. And people are like shell-shocked because, wait a minute, Piper's been here, he was heel, he turned fucking babyface, he gives the farewell speech, and then he stayed, right?
Yeah.
But that was just reality booking. So when they say the number fucking one contender, check the goddamn standings in any sport. You're the fucking you're next in fucking line, and all of a sudden you go on a fucking losing streak, and you're not.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I'm over analytical of it, but Marks just need to watch it as fucking entertainment because they told you it's fucking entertainment.
Yeah.
It's like you go on YouTube and it's like I had my guys in class today. I said, today I want you to get on fucking YouTube, bring your goddamn iPad, and look at Pat Patterson versus Ted DiBiase 1979 WWF. I said, man, that was so fucking tight. It told the fucking story. I said, yes. And the people are fucking ready to fucking riot. It ain't fucking sports entertainment. It ain't people with signs trying to get on TV. It ain't people saying you fucked up or this is fucking awesome. It was a goddamn contest. It was good fucking versus fucking evil. Now I'm fucking rambling. Sorry about that.
I'm guessing you're not an ECW fan, judging by your comments before.
No. ECW, in my opinion, it's only my opinion, they helped kill the business. First of all, they had guys working that didn't have a job. So they would be willing to blade themselves, hit each other with fucking light bulbs, go through fucking tables. And you can't get on anybody for loving pro wrestling and wanting to make money at it and be a fucking star. But what they did is, here's the parameters for fucking wrestling, and they changed the fucking rules. All of a sudden, the guy will gig himself in the fucking face, the guy will put himself on fucking fire, all of a sudden. And you got to remember, ECW never drew a fucking house. They never drew a fucking television rating. They took guys that couldn't fucking make it or weren't good enough in the other things. So now all of a sudden we're getting recognized because you were put on fire. You rolled down some fucking steps. We hit you with okay, here's ECW. Okay, now there's no rules. If there's no rules, you can't cheat. You can't have good guy, bad guy. It's just, and it's like if there's no fucking rules, that's like the biggest rib in wrestling is to have all cages. After fucking 2 cage matches, on paper it fucking draws. Then they fucking see it after 2 fucking matches. Holy shit, this is the same old fucking shit every match. This is fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but wouldn't you say, though, Paul Heyman was pretty good at kind of accentuating the positives of a lot of guys and hiding the negatives? As far as, I mean, you look at these guys like I've seen these guys at independent shows, and I've heard like other people like Jerry Lawler say when these guys came to WWE, they looked like miniature wrestlers. But when you looked at them on ECW TV, like you would have never known this guy was like 5'6", 5'7".
No, it's just like now years ago. I think back about when the Road Warriors come out. Now the Road Warriors are looking like fucking giants because they got the gimmick heels on. They're standing next to Gordon fucking Soley. They're working with fucking Brett Wayne, who's about 5'7". Buzz Sawyer, who's about fucking 5'7", right? Mm-hmm. There's fucking Pez Watley, 5'8". Ronnie Garvin, who's 5'7". Everything is an illusion and a fucking perception. So that's like Paul could take just an example. Mike Awesome, who was a big guy, but if everybody's a big guy, then nobody's a big guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden he's got working with shorter guys, and he looks like a fucking giant. And all of a sudden you see him on fucking, just an example, WWE, WCW, whatever. They go, oh, he's not that big. No, he could make Paul can make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Okay, he could disguise everything. He was like a genius in this goddamn business. Okay. So
you respect his creativity, but you just didn't like all the hardcore stuff.
Well, okay, if you're running a business, right?
Yeah.
And I'm there to make money. If I don't make money, I'm out of business. And I'm looking at, I'm goddamn booker for Bob Geigel in goddamn Kansas City in their last fucking legs. And he's got shit fucking talent. And I said, first of all, I ain't firing nobody. I'll make do with what I got. And the houses came up by giving them character. You're disguising people's weaknesses. You're giving characters or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But in the long run, you're not going to fucking make it because you got a shitty product. You got a shitty product, plus you don't have the good television slots. Without television, without the nice time slots, you're fucked. Without talent, you're fucked. You can't disguise. You can't have everything with smoke and mirrors. Like, how do you watch a WWE match? Now we got. That's like I saw fucking Fandango first time I got in live, right?
Yeah.
Then I see the fucking Matadors. You know, everybody's fucking dancing, and their entrances are as long as their fucking matches. Every match is the fucking same. Every time they go down, they fucking cover them. Everyone's a 2 3/4 count. Every match they fucking go outside. No matches are fucking tie-up. It's just so fucking rotten. You know, instead of keeping everything fucking structured, this is what you're doing in the first match. I want no repeats in the second match. I want no repeats in the third match. The fourth match, we're going outside for the first time. We're going to use the fucking manager one time in the fucking fifth match. Main event, now we're going to fight outside for the first fucking time. Now every match, they're trying to pawn off everybody because they're afraid you're going to change the goddamn channel, I guess. Yeah. But they're looking at everybody as a cleanup hitter. Everybody ain't a cleanup hitter. They're looking at everybody as LeBron James. Oh no, you got the fucking the last guy. He's pulling scrub minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the third string quarterback in, but we're trying to say, oh no, that's fucking Peyton Manning. You know. Anyway, I'm sorry I was rambling again.
It's all right. One thing I hate these days, I absolutely hate. This more pertains to the secondary titles, but they've recently done it with the world title as well. Guys losing non-title matches. I don't have so much of a problem with that when it's once in a blue moon and it sets up a match or whatever. But literally, I don't know how much you've been following this, but every time a guy gets a U.S. title, right, or the Intercontinental title, or even the tag titles outside of like recently with the Shield, they lose. Like they lose more often than I think Barry Horowitz ever did on TV. Like Curtis Axel's been losing left and right ever since he became Intercontinental Champion. Dolph Ziggler, we talked about him earlier. When he was United States Champion, they jobbed him every week he was losing. And it'd be like non-title matches. He'd win the title match, but he'd lose every other non-title match. I'm just like, that's totally devaluing your titles. Why do you think they don't care as much anymore about the prestige of the titles? I know at the end of the day, you know what I mean, it's predetermined, it's all that stuff, but if you're trying to suspend disbelief, don't you want to have people perceive your championships as prestigious?
Well, look at it this way, okay? Now, if you're a pro boxing fan, and we're looking at 20 years ago, I'm fighting in a non-title match, and I beat Mike Tyson in a decision. All of a sudden, he made me, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay? It's pretty simple, isn't it? It's a sport. All of a sudden, you take somebody that's a fucking champion, now all of a sudden, just as a name, let's say Del Rio's a fucking champion. And all of a sudden they bring in fucking the Mulkey, right?
Yeah.
And the Mulkey beats him in a fucking non-title. People say, holy shit, fucking Mulkey beat that motherfucker in a non-title match. All of a sudden there's an upset, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Mulkey and Del Rio's go, Mulkey, I hate that fucking name Mulkey, right? Fuck that motherfucker. I ain't never wrestle him again. What do they want to see? They want to see Mulkey against fucking Del Rio.
Yeah.
Wrestling is so fucking simple, and we've made it hard by trying to fool the people. When I was booking, never in my life did somebody get hit with a gimmick and kick out. Everything was taken care of. If not, you're wasting your fucking time. It's got to mean something.
Right.
You don't hit them with enough, then they kick out. Oh, to fool the people. It's simple. Reality fucking booking.
No, of course. But I mean, my thing is, again, if that happened every now and then, I'm fine with that. But literally, I mean, I think if you go to results of like SmackDown or Raw from each week, from week to week, and it's like almost every week a champion loses a non-title match. Don't you think it's a little overboard?
Well, you got to remember, every week you're going to have different people watching, right?
In theory, yeah.
So it could be new to them. When it's new to them, all of a sudden I got interest in it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Well, holy shit. See, that's like in the old days you would do stuff like that. They'd have a non-title match, but they wouldn't win. But now we're the marks because all of a sudden what happened was they had a non-fucking title match. So we had a segment on TV where nothing meant nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In each match, there's 1 point. I want this guy over strong. I want this guy's finish all over. I want him carted out. We're using a gimmick. He's hurt. Taking him fucking. There's a reason. There's 1 point in every fucking match. So, see what they do is they give him 10 points in every match. You can't remember anything.
Yeah.
What happened in the first match? For that goddamn cocksucker, he fucking he poked him in the eye one time, and he cheap shot him, and he made the babyface submit because he poked him in the eye and he couldn't see, then he put a submission on him. That motherfucker. See what I mean?
Yeah.
What happened in the second match? Well, the motherfucker, he used a closed fist, you know what I mean, one time, and knocked the babyface out with a closed fist. And he couldn't get up, and he pinned him. He really hit him, though, because he couldn't get up, and he pinned him with a punch. You see how easy it is?
Yeah.
But we kill our own fucking business, so it don't make any difference.
Do you think wrestling these days needs more squash matches? And I ask that because, of course, squash matches do what? They showcase a guy. They show off his moves, kind of like Ryback when he was first coming up. They built him up by having him just crush enhancement talent every town he went when he was on TV. And also because I feel like a lot of these matches that they put on free TV are repetitive. I'll just give you one example. They had Alberto Del Rio versus one of the young guys, Biggie Langston. And it's all right. Okay, you had Del Rio, Biggie Langston, whatever, one time. Then they did a rematch on SmackDown. Then they did another rematch on Raw. Then they did another rematch on SmackDown. So in a span, I think, of like 8 days, they wrestled 4 times when you probably could have put both guys in matches where perhaps it would have showcased their strengths as opposed to them just doing even Steven booking and beating each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm going to... Hopefully you can get this. Let's say in the old days, territory. Okay, look at, first of all, WWE's got all these hours of television, right?
Right, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have the same exact match 4 straight shows.
Yeah, now listen. First of all, now you're in the territory, and you got 1 hour of television a week. So every wrestling fan's got their fucking... It might play at midnight. You got your alarm clock set because you don't want to fucking miss it. Yeah. Now all of a sudden you're seeing enhancement matches because you're seeing the stars win. Now all of a sudden you're paying to see the house show, right?
Right.
All of a sudden Dusty Rhodes, he don't ever wrestle on fucking TV. You see him and what happened in the goddamn Omni, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to work against superstar Billy Graham in the fucking in the Tampa Fort Homer Hesterly Armory or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So it was a tease to pay for a fucking house show. In the fucking house show, you'd work your goddamn angle. You might show a 30-second clip of that, and you couldn't wait to come back the next time when they had a goddamn rematch. But now they're just on TV. They're selling their fucking dolls, their lunch boxes, their songs, their movies or whatever. So all they're doing is creating rock stars where wrestling with and have nothing to do with it. All it is a goddamn infomercial. Now and now you remember. Now when you look at SmackDown or WWE, there's not a lot of guys there.
Yeah.
It's just like a territory. It's a SmackDown crew. It's a fucking Raw crew. In other words, it's the Tampa territory, it's the Atlanta territory, it's the Mid-South territory. If they're put on TV, they're overexposed so much they really fucking mean nothing. Yeah. There's nothing worse, no matter who was projected, whether it be Bret Hart, whether it be fucking HBK or whatever it is, when they open the show for 20 minutes of fucking talking. Please, excuse me, fuck you.
You're talking about they open up a show 20 minutes talking. At Night of Champions last month, they opened up the pay-per-view with talking.
Okay, well, see that's old school and today's. Now, if I was a fan, I know this is wrong, but all my guys at OVW, I tell them not to watch fucking television because it ain't fucking right. I said, I'll teach you to work the fucking right way, but if you get a goddamn job, forget it all. Do what I tell you. But now, if I'm a fan watching TV and the NFL starts with a goddamn 30-minute pregame show, right?
Yeah.
That's what's expected. Hell, in the old days, you'd fucking open up and there's the goddamn kickoff. So wrestling I guess every show must start with fucking 20 minutes of fucking talk. So, you've ever got your television create what's the norm.
Yeah, and is there anybody that you've worked with over the years in your time as a trainer that you feel like a promotion, could be WWE, WCW, whatever, really missed the boat on? Is there somebody that was really talented, you said, damn, this kid gets it, he's going to be a star, and then for whatever reason it just didn't work out?
Well, what I tell everybody when they come in, I said, pro wrestling's not real. It's prearranged, but I said if you have average hand-eye coordination, average athletic ability, and average IQ, you can get there. And I said, but, what happened, I remember one time at OVW, Johnny, we had 60 guys in my class. They signed 2 or 3 of them out of the class. And the ones they signed were rotten. And everybody in class knew they were rotten. So a lot of guys just fucking quit. And they figured out this ain't real. I said, there's a way to get in. You're related to somebody. You're a wrestler's son. You've got some notoriety off of fucking as being a football player, a fucking reality TV show. You're somebody's neighbor. You're somebody's buddy, or you're a freak. You're a giant, or whatever. And that's what pretty much gives you success. Because you got to remember, they would have guys come in, and I'd give my reports. And these guys would be really good, buster balls, blah, 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 and they'd bring somebody else up. Why? Because they can. If the boss says bring up this fucking pitcher, even though he's struggling in rookie fucking ball, I'm paying him and I said so. We'll see what can happen. How's this other guy? Well, he's 5'7", and I don't really see any potential, and all he knows how to do is wrestle. So we just leave him down there and cut the motherfucker. I know, but he can really. It doesn't fucking matter what the boss says. Goddamn goes in any fucking thing. If I got a goddamn restaurant and you can't fucking boil water, I can say no. You're my chef boyardee because you're my neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, I went to college with your dad, and you need a job, and that's the way the wrestling business is. And a lot of times, the guys that were real good, you don't want them in there because it makes somebody else look bad. That's like, oh, this guy's built better than him. We'll keep him off. This other guy, he's doing the muscle gimmick. Well, this guy can fucking really wrestle. Well, fucking keep him off. He's better than this fucking guy. Well, this guy's really fucking great. Well, fucking beat him in 2 minutes every fucking night. And that's the way the goddamn wrestling business is.
So they see some guys. So they see some guys as a threat.
Yeah. Well, that's the way any job is, right?
Yeah.
That's like if you're a fucking fat broad in the goddamn secretary pool, the new young girl comes in that's fucking skinny, she's going to bear you the fucking boss because it ain't all you anymore.
Yeah, but what I don't get with WWE is that, like, Like, I'll give one example. Like Zack Ryder. I'm not saying Zack Ryder's a great worker or anything, but he's a guy that got himself over through his YouTube show and Twitter and all that stuff, and got a following. And I'm not saying he would ever been a draw or a ratings draw or anything like that, but the guy got a legit following. Busted his ass, did it all on his own without WWE's help. Now, one would think it's like, you look at this guy, okay, he wasn't quote-unquote supposed to get over, but it's like, you own the rights to his name anyway, you're paying him a certain salary anyway. If he can make you money, why not just roll with him? Or any guy that happens to just get over or be good, as opposed to just saying, okay, he's not supposed to get over. We're only supposed to have an X amount of people on top or X amount of people, getting a push right now. Like, why not just go where the money goes?
Okay, first of all, getting old, okay. In the last how many years, Steve Austin was over. They'd announce his fucking name, like to come into Louisville, the big building. 4 hours later, there wouldn't be any more tickets.
Wow.
When he was hot. That's what over is. Now they fucking announce they're coming to Louisville twice a year. They're hoping to draw 5,000 people.
Yeah.
That's what fucking over is. It's one thing to have reaction. Anybody can have reaction, okay? I can pull my pants down, pull my goddamn dick out, do everything to break the goddamn rules for reaction, and it's the shit. Real guys fucking know. I remember working for fucking Ron Fuller. I come in for goddamn Ron Fuller after I worked for fucking Watt. I was the smallest guy in the territory. They brought me into the junior heavyweight fucking champion. Fucking Ron Fuller says, fuck, I don't know what to do with you. I said, what's the matter, Ron? He says, you're getting all the reaction. I said, but I'm not doing any shortcuts to get it. He says, I know you not. They hate your guts. I said, fuck. He says, I either got to get rid of you, He says, he says, I'm going to keep you off TV for 6 weeks. So I go to the fucking house shows. He said, well, okay, you get more reaction at fucking house shows than my fucking stars. But you're not doing anything to warrant it. I was just good at what I did. So we shot an angle where I was the smallest guy in the territory, and I started working with Jacques Rougeau. They brought the scale out. He started calling me Fatso. And I was overweight from the junior heavyweight, and all of a sudden I was legit at heavyweight, and they called me Fatso. And they brought the scales out. This scale can't be fucking right, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I'm this little guy there, and they're calling me Fatso. So now all of a sudden I'm elevated, and I get brought up. And the last fucking 8 to 10 weeks there, I'm working with a goddamn Austin Idol fucking on the way fucking out, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, the whole thing was that you can, your push is pretty much predetermined. They bring you, when I worked for Bill Watts, he said, no, he says, I don't put your hair dark. I don't want you to flaunt your fancy robes. Your job here is to work the first 4 matches and put my underneath baby faces over. So they get wins. So once they get fucking wins, then they can put my semi-main event heels fucking over. But he wanted wins and fucking losses. Bore them to death with fucking refs in the first 4 fucking matches. They would fucking have a tag match. Then they'd have a fucking intermission. And we got fucking Duggan coming out. We got JYD coming out. We got Bundy coming out. We got Ted DiBiase, who could work with goddamn anybody. We got goddamn Kamala coming out. It's doing mega fucking business. But your product was goddamn wrestling. But he would tell, that's like, I'd be working a fucking match, and there's 2 guys, they worked the first fucking match. And I said, holy shit. As soon as they come back, I said, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Ron Fuller come back, he says, hey, Ripley, where's those 2 guys at? I said, Ron, I told them to get the fuck out of here because you'd be mad. Good, I'll talk to them next week and I won't be as mad. But they went out there and they did everybody's move, getting all their shit in the first fucking match. So nothing meant nothing. They just killed the match for the rest of the fucking night. So they did everything, trying to be fucking stuff. They didn't get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You had a lot of guys, though, in OVW back in the day that did get it. Off the top of my head, I mean, Nick Dinsmore, Rob Conway, those guys were awesome in the ring. Still know what they're doing, obviously, but it took a while for them to get called up. Why do you think it took so long? Because you see other guys, they just got brought up right away, and with Conway and Nick Dinsmore who became Eugene, it took 2003 till 2004 for him to actually get on the roster.
Okay, great fucking question again. I'm going to explain it to you, and you'll get it. if I draft, if the Seahawks sign Matt Flynn and give him $4 million, and all of a sudden we got Russell Wilson as a third-round draft pick, and he's making him look like shit in practice, right?
Yeah.
Now the general manager looks like a total retard for giving all that money to Flynn, doesn't he?
Yes.
Okay, now, here we have Nick Dinsmore, who lives 5 miles from the old wrestling school. Rob Conway, who lives 6 miles from the old wrestling school. The Damager, who was from Seymour. Doug Basham, who was fucking Danny's nephew. They're all within 50 miles to 19 miles, whatever, from the wrestling school. Now they're paying all these other guys big money to learn, but these other guys who were trained old style are better than them. And when they started, they all had regular jobs to get by. But here they are paying these other guys. Now, if you're bringing, I'm not even going to mention any names, but you're paying this guy $800 a week to learn, right?
Right.
But this other guy is better than him. It makes you look stupid for paying this guy $800 a week, don't it?
Yeah.
Now you can fucking get it. So I had all these fucking great guys that learned to work, that paid their fucking dues, were fucking humble, and they fucking got it. Eventually they got developmental. It's fucking like goddamn Eugene. Nick Dinsmore could work with fucking Benoit, and you couldn't tell who was the better wrestler. Okay? All of a sudden, I come up with goddamn fucking Eugene and talk to him about it. We fucking fine-tune the thing. All of a sudden, he's got a job as a goddamn retard, right?
Yeah.
But he couldn't get a job for 8 or 9 years as a wrestler. He didn't look like... He wasn't one of their guys. Okay? If I'm Johnny Ace and I say, oh, this guy's blah, 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 fine. Hell, fucking Brock was making goddamn $1,000 a week to fucking learn. Like when Brock was there, goddamn Brock was a fucking superhuman athlete. He was a goddamn freak. He would drive the goddamn ring truck.
Wow.
First night in, there's John Cena looking like $1 million fucking bucks, laughing, having a great fucking attitude, and putting the fucking ring up, and happy to goddamn fucking be there. Now today, but I tell everybody, once you're getting paid to learn, you become fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting a shitty attitude. You start thinking you're fucking over. Now the fucking cancer starts. I'm over. They signed me. Why ain't I up there? It's like I remember fucking JTG. Now JTG still got a goddamn job with WWE, living the fucking life. He come to goddamn OVW on a Greyhound bus, coming to Louisville with a fucking suitcase. He worked at Gold's Gym, babysitting kids there to get by. And he got fucking signed. He's a tremendous fucking talent. If they don't want to fucking use him, it don't fucking matter. That's their goddamn business. Yeah. He's still getting a fucking paycheck, living the life, living in goddamn L.A. He's got one of them fucking cars where the fucking whole fucking side comes up with how to get in or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
He's fucking laughing. Fucking Armando fucking Estrada, he come into fucking town with a fucking car with no goddamn lights. Fucking Mike Mondo with a fucking Spirit Quad. Fucking Serena, the fucking girl, Santino. Fuck, I used to fucking, I'd fucking work all night at fucking Circle K, come in for a special fucking class. They'd pay me an extra fucking $10. I do a 2-hour drill session. We take one fucking thing and just repeat. And that's how they got fucking good.
Random question. What? Another guy you had in OVW was Marty Wright, a.k.a. the Boogeyman. What was your reaction when you saw this dude?
Okay, when he come in, I was had been fired the first time, and I had my class separate. So I didn't watch any OVW shit or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just knew that once he ate worms. Once you get your thing is eating worms, where do you go from there? You can't.
Yeah.
Wrestling is your fucking product, and you have a gimmick. It's like Vince Senior would bring in Terry Funk. He was a cowboy, but he was Terry Funk, the cowboy, not the cowboy Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Your gimmick didn't overshadow your goddamn wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So now they got into the say, well, this guy can't wrestle, so we'll fucking window dress him. It's like when DDP first came out. See, in the old days, one guy would have blonde hair. One guy would have an earring. one guy would have a tattoo. One guy would have a fucking valet. The fucking DDP come out and he'd have 32 gimmicks in the bell ring.
Yeah, Dave. Speaking of tattoos, there's a lot of guys with tattoos these days. Do you think that hurts them, especially if a company wants to use them for different gimmicks?
Well, I remember at one time WWE used to have a fucking memo on the board. If you don't already have a tattoo, we don't want you to get any. Because years ago, nobody had tattoos. So all of a sudden, here's fucking Don Fargo with a tattoo on his arm, and he'd be talking about that tattoo all the time, and it meant something. Or one guy would wear a fucking earring in the ring, but the whole thing was the production of him taking the earring off before his match every time.
Yeah.
Now, wrestling is so fucking phony, we got guys wrestling with fucking chains on, earrings in their fucking ears. In the old days, they just rip them out of your fucking ear and there'd be fucking blood. They'd rip that shit up. Now we're wrestling with a fucking jacket on. Now we're wrestling with a fucking chain around your fucking neck. Now we're wrestling with fucking hoop earrings in your fucking ears, and you're chewing gum as you're selling. Oh, okay, it's real. Why don't you just fucking spit in my fucking guts more and tell me how fucking phony this is? We got a guy fucking wearing a full bodysuit because he weighs 170, beating up all the fucking guys. Please.
There's a guy with a lot of tattoos, though, that is a hell of a worker. One guy you worked with in OVW. Some people may know him, CM Punk. What was it like working with him, and how happy are you to see him progress? Because there was a time, 2011, where he was going to leave WWE, may have left the business and just retired. Cut that awesome promo, ended up coming back. Yeah, his push hasn't always been perfect, but he's a guy that's definitely the definitive. I'd say if John Cena's 1A, CM Punk's definitely 1B.
Okay, well, this will be a funny story. Because when Punker, first of all, Punker come in when I'd been fired, okay? Okay? So, and I got fired because I wanted more money. I wanted more money because I had to have a regular fucking job besides teaching at OVW because I had to pay for my own insurance, and first I commuted from Indianapolis to Louisville every fucking day. And then because I had to have a job at UPS to have fucking insurance, I didn't have a fucking stroke, but I almost fucking croaked.
Wow.
So then I had to fucking Louisville because I couldn't travel in the car because my body would like rebel or whatever. So to make a long story short, I requested a goddamn raise. Well, we were giving you a raise a while back. I said it was for my goddamn insurance because you didn't give me goddamn insurance. So then they just fired me out of the fucking blue because I had a house in Indianapolis, but I had to have a place to stay in fucking Louisville, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've been fired. So Punker come in. So I hated that internet shit, and I hated stuff where guys would cuss in like the kayfabe sheets, and guys that really didn't fucking know. And at the time, Punker come in, and me and him did not hit it off right away at all. You know what I mean? Because I looked at him as being disrespectful with him cussing, like the Meltzer sheets and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then his look was different. Here he was, not a muscle guy, but the whole thing about it is, if everybody's got muscles, don't have muscles, then you stick out. If everybody's got a bleached blonde hair, well, hell, you have dark hair. If everybody's got tattoos, don't. The wrestling business, whatever everybody else is doing, don't do it. They've seen that act. They're not looking for another Undertaker. They got one. They're not looking for an HBK. They had one. They're not looking for fucking Austin. They had one. Be fucking something different, and that's what you got to goddamn do. Okay, I'm gonna ramble. Okay. No, I'm a big Punk fan because he did it his own fucking way.
Yeah, he busted his ass. He overcame all the obstacles, all the politics and everything. Did you get the feeling when you did work with him that there were a lot of people against him, or did you kind of see that? Did you know that like ahead of time in the back of your mind, even if you don't see it right away, that when he's getting on the main roster, he's gonna have all these obstacles to overcome?
Okay, I know this is going to sound fucking stupid, but I've never seen him wrestle on TV.
Really?
Yes. I told you I didn't watch Raw until the other night, and SmackDown until 2 weeks ago.
But you did work with him in OVW, so I'm sure.
Wait a minute. No, I was fired.
Right.
I had my own fucking class. I had DCW.
Okay.
I had 60 guys in my own fucking class. I had guys I did my own fucking television show there.
Okay.
We had a TV station in Louisville. They played OVW, and after that mine was DCW, and it was just total opposite. I gave them nothing but fucking wrestling.
Oh, Derby City Wrestling.
Yes.
Okay.
It was just unbelievable wrestling. One guy was allowed to use the clothesline. He used it. Whenever he did, it was a ref stoppage or a goddamn knockout and a carryout, and they believed in it. There was a fucking 1 point in every goddamn fucking match. If we bumped the ref, either he got back up, or we sent another referee in to take the place and continue the match like nothing goddamn happened. Yeah. In every match, there was a finish. There was never a count out. There was never a disqualification. I gave him fucking wrestling with finishes like Baba used to do when Baba drew big time, because people don't want to see a DQ. They don't want to they want to see a winner and a goddamn fucking loser. We want to give them a little bit of controversy, but not too much. But anyway, so when that was happening, I would be teaching my fucking guys, and then the fucking WWE guys wanting to sneak into my fucking class to learn from fucking me. And I said, no, boys, you just put heat on yourself, so don't fucking do it.
But CM Punk did.
No, I didn't really get to teach Punker because he was. Then they replaced me with Al and Lance, but they would come in for like a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time. So they ended up giving them more money than what I was needing to begin with, but they were paying twice as much because they had two guys.
Yeah.
Now you got a coach. You can't have two different offensive coordinators in any sport, can you?
No.
You can't have two pitching coaches. You can't have two defensive coordinators. You can't have, it's when I teach a guy, here's your basic philosophy, but I want you to do it with your fucking style. Now we have guys with two different styles going, and you can't be on the fucking same page. Mm-hmm. Now you got to say, well, who am I in there with, right?
Right.
That's just not a knock. It's just a numbers game, which you can't. That's like when they say, well, look at this quarterback. Why is he so good? Well, I said, well, fuck, he's had 5 coaches in 5 years with 5 different systems.
Yeah.
And he's got it in the NFL. This motherfucker's unbelievable to digest this shit.
Yeah, like Alex Smith, perfect example. That guy had how many offensive coordinators, and then when he got Harbaugh, he had that career rebirth, and now he's with Andy Reid. When he actually got to work with real coaches.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, and I revert to wrestling as the same fucking way.
Yeah. Now,
I'm out to get off the fucking subject. Sorry about that.
No, perfectly fine. Now, I know you had your qualms about ECW's booking, and I'm sure back when WCW was at its peak, you were watching it and probably questioned quite a bit too what they were doing. But how dark of a day was it when WCW died, and then of course the realization that ECW died, as it pertains to the wrestling business? Even if you didn't necessarily agree with how they booked things. How dark of a day was that for pro wrestling, considering guys had less places to work, less places to apply their craft and make money?
Well, it was 100 times worse in the 80s when Vince killed all the territories. Yeah. Now, I can't say he killed all the territories. What he did was he stole TV time slots. He took guys' fucking television. He rated their fucking talent, and all of a sudden the people looked upon the territories as like minor league, and WWE is major league. And at the time, it's like it's like if you was in Tampa. Hell, you'd run Tampa every Tuesday night. But once WWE come in, they'd run Tampa once a month in the big building. Well, fuck, I'm gonna save my money and go see the big boys.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at your fucking production and shit, right? Here we are in the fucking Tampa. We're doing fucking TV at the Sportatorium with fucking Gordon Soley, and fucking we're doing 2 tapes, but all we're doing is changing the camera angles and changing a couple of fucking signs. It looks like 2 different studios, right? With 100 people there.
Yeah.
But it was all a fucking perception. But as far as ECW and WCW, I never watched ECW before, and when I worked for WCW, I didn't watch their fucking shows. I didn't give a shit. If you would watch that shit, you could fucking go fucking crazy. Because I wasn't into their fucking politics. All I wanted to do, I was a performer. I loved fucking wrestling. Yeah. I loved the fucking lifestyle. I just wanted to get in, get out, have a great fucking time, eat good, go to the fucking gym, live the fucking life, and enjoy fucking life. I don't give a shit about what this angle is. I don't give a shit about that. I never even fucking watched. I didn't watch WWE for how many years I didn't watch WCW for how many fucking years.
Yeah.
I'd have somebody take my fucking match off fucking television or whatever, where I would dissect it of why this was all right, this was stupid. Oh man, what a stupid thing that was. You could have done this fucking better and stuff like that. But all I did was I didn't watch. I was a TV wrestler, but I didn't watch TV wrestling.
No, I got you. Now, with the business the way it is right now, of course, there's some things that are absolutely mind-boggling. Like, again, as we mentioned, the 3-on-11 handicap match, with the freaking heels being positioned inadvertently as baby faces. But, of course, there are some hot times where creative just clicks on all cylinders, like around Royal Rumble, WrestleMania time, and then it kind of goes back down where it's kind of a hit or miss depending on which week it is. Do you feel like the wrestling business right now could be back in an upswing? Do you think it's going to go downward, or do you just feel like right now it's kind of in a status quo?
Well, it's like when on Raw, right? They threw that extra hour in there, but it didn't hurt, did it?
Well, it didn't hurt WWE's bottom line. I think maybe it kind of made the show drag on more since they have one more hour of content.
What I'm getting at, it's the USA Network's pretty much their most popular program, right?
Yes.
Now, instead of 2 hours, they got it for 3 hours. And people still watch no matter what.
Right.
So, plus, they got the Eon thing and they got the sci-fi thing, right?
Right.
So, the numbers are still there.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I thought they were actually going to burn out their audience, and I think. But on the flip side, though, yeah, people still watch it, but fans are trained to tune out at certain times. So, for example, when Santino comes out, they tune out. When this guy comes out, they tune out, and then it's like, okay, we'll tune into the first hour for the most part. Maybe we'll check on the second hour, and then let's check the main event in the last 10, 20 minutes. I mean, is that still a good sign? I mean, as long as people are watching, or would you rather have a more sustained audience throughout the whole 3 hours?
Okay. Now, if I'm doing TV, I can manipulate your mind, can't I?
Yes.
If I open the match, if I open the fucking show with John fucking Cena and Randy Orton in the ring, holy shit. I'm watching, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying later on in the hour, Hulk Hogan will wrestle Andre the Giant. I don't tell them when, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going 20 minutes of fucking television setting up where, okay, the overruns until 11:08, so about 11:03 I'll turn it on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happens, you give them the shit, and then you show the aftermath, or you show the replay or whatever. So, hey, coming up soon, Alumni Blaze will take her clothes off. Holy shit, when? Soon. See what I mean?
Yeah.
No, not at the last. It's like, oh, we're going to have a 1 hour iron match on TV. Well, hell, there ain't no sense watching it till the end of the last 60 minutes, is there? Because you told them. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying we had a fucking no time limit match, you could end at any time. So we got an Iron Man. Well, hell, it's going to last 60 minutes, don't it?
Yeah.
Well, there ain't no sense watching it till the goddamn end, and it's going to watch 60 minutes. Fuck it. That's like when UFC first come out. They might be laying on the fucking ground. You remember they didn't have rounds; they just had time limits, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's fucking Hoist Gracie and goddamn Ken Shamrock laying in a stalemate for 15 minutes. Hell, I ain't gonna go get a fucking beer. Something might happen, right? You're not gonna turn that shit off. Something might happen. Fucking wrestling, we fucking killed our own goddamn business. But it can be resurrected again. But it ain't my job to fucking tell them, and they're making money, and who cares anyway?
Yeah, fair point. Now let's flip that over to MMA. You're a big MMA fan, like myself. There's a lot of things MMA is doing right. Some things are doing even better in pro wrestling in regards to actually promoting feuds and building them up and getting people to buy their pay-per-views. But if you could change a couple things about MMA right now, particularly at the highest level, the UFC, what would it be?
Well, the main thing is MMA does not draw big numbers on television. It's just like it's basically a 1.0. When you say that'd be about a roundabout number?
I'd say, yeah, about a 1.0. But to be fair, though, they have a better conversion rate of their audience buying their pay-per-views compared to WWE. They get like 3 million viewers, or 4 million viewers, and then people don't buy as many pay-per-views as UFC fans do.
Okay, you're right about all that, right?
Yeah.
But now, if I'm a mark, hell, I can watch 6 hours of WWE on television a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got pay-per-view, and they're running how many fucking house shows? Well, fucking MMA, they got 2 shows this month. Now you're limited, aren't you?
Yeah, but actually they've been running a lot more shows. I mean, just to give you an idea, I mean, of their schedule, it's insane. I think to some extent they're kind of oversaturated. I think in August, right, the last week in August, they had 3 shows in 1 week, or 3 shows in 8 days. They had they had 1 free event on Fox Sports 1, then they had another event at Fox Sports 1, and then they had the Anthony Pettis-Ben Henderson fight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now. Okay, you're right, and I see where you're going with that. Now, they know what their buy rates are off their numbers, right?
Yes.
They also understand overexposure. If their pay-per-views go down and their buy rate because they got too much television, they're going to think, I'm exposing too much on fucking television. They're going to have to pay to see this shit. Don't worry, they're geniuses. They get it. That's why they make money.
Well, their buy rates have gone down last couple of times, but I think it also might have to do with the fact that they have too many pay-per-views too. I mean, more than 12. I mean, that might be something too, where because I think if you're running too many shows, whether it be WWE, like for example, WWE has 2 pay-per-views this month. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but they have 2 pay-per-views this month. It kind of puts fans in a position to perhaps pick and choose what pay-per-views they buy, as opposed to being in a position to buy 1 each month.
Okay. Well, you got to remember too is, okay, if I have WrestleMania, we got fucking Hogan against Andre, right?
Right.
Or I got WrestleMania, The Miz against Sheamus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to buy?
Hogan Andre.
Okay. So you got to remember, MMA, just like WWE pay-per-views, you're looking at SummerSlam and you're looking at WrestleMania as your big draws. The rest is to create new audiences and to create a profit. Same thing in MMA. Now, if we got goddamn Anderson fucking Silva against Chael Sonnen, with letting the other guy go off the fucking mouth, whatever, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at that to fucking draw. Or we had fucking Brock against goddamn some other super heavyweight who was hot in their fucking prime, right?
Yeah.
It ain't fucking Tom Smith against Joe Blow. Some pay-per-views, we're hoping for 125,000 buys. We're hoping for 600,000 for this. No, Brock's in it. No, we're going to do over 1 million. So you look at WWE pay-per-views, they're not all geared to be blockbusters. If everything's a blockbuster, what's the best? There ain't none, is there?
Yeah, that's a great point. So do you feel like as long as they're not losing money on these pay-per-views, you think it's still a good idea for them business-wise to do them?
Yes, because they're always creating new fans, new interest.
I got
you. And they're also making new stars. The guy's on a 4 knockout win streak. Well, hell, I can't wait to see now. They'll put him on a big show, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So would you rather have too many pay-per-views than too many free, or what would be considered too many? Let's just say over 12. Let's say over 12 is too many pay-per-views, all right? Would you rather have 13 to 15 pay-per-views with a couple that may not do so well but still make a profit, as opposed to too many free shows on TV?
Well, I wouldn't have... My free shows on TV would be like infomercials. Mm-hmm. And they would be like Manny Pacquiao versus somebody to 24/7, right?
Right.
It'd be nothing but infomercial, the build-up to buy the pay-per-view. I wouldn't give away free shit on television.
Yeah. But of course, UFC is also getting more money for their TV than WWE is. I think UFC is getting $100 million, per year. So they got a little more pressure on them to do the Fox stuff and all that.
Money figures to be manipulated by the person given, so you don't really know.
Yeah. No, definitely a good point. And is there anything outside of what we talked about, which was the submission game? Is there anything else do you think pro wrestling can learn from MMA, or is it just as simple as learning to actually do some of these holds and make them look real, as opposed to the chin lock that looks, I don't know, looser than a rapper's pants when it's put on?
Well, it's like in the old days, we would have a fucking street fight, right?
Yeah.
And we would hardway guys, bust their fucking face open, and if not, they'd go back to the dressing room and beat themselves in the face, and they'd come out all fucking scarred up, busted open, etc. And people believed it. You hit them with a fucking board, and there'd be knocks on their head, and people would believe it. Now it's all a joke, and it's all a goddamn rib. Yeah. It's like MMA. They come out that's like, and I was never a big puncher in wrestling because it killed believability. Now Memphis drew like fucking crew, like crazy. Here's fucking Lawler punching the guy in the fucking face 60 times and he ain't got a mark on him, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't do it. I have one jab sequence and with a big fucking right during the whole fucking match. And in the fucking comeback, I made sure the babyface got his retribution in, blah, 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 with the fucking jabs and the big one, boom, +1. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Wait.
I think I rambling again.
Not at all, man. I definitely love talking wrestling and MMA. What do you guys got on tap with OVW coming up? I know you guys started doing some stuff on demand on the internet.
Well, we're doing some like old style pay-per-views. It's like the first couple, like we got one fucking Sunday, right?
Right.
But I had to like the first 4 matches, and we had a fucking a figure 4 submission. We had a fucking sleeper where you lose, right? You drop the hand 3 times and he goes fucking down, or you fucking tap out, right?
Yeah.
And we had, I think, a punch finish. The first punch of the match, the guy got knocked senseless, and he couldn't get up, and they carved him out. And it was just so simple, Or I have a guy fucking slam the guy 3 times in a row, and he got fucking pinned, and he couldn't fucking get up because his back was out with a slam. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just simple. People will believe whatever's shoved down their throat. In MMA, all of a sudden a guy gets punted, or he gets fucking hit with 3 fucking strikes in a row. The fucking ref's ready to fucking break it up, right?
Yeah.
And we're giving 10 phony punches in the fucking corner, right? So they can count to 10. And then go to throw him in, but the guy reverses it, so the fucking punch didn't mean that to begin with. And then we fucking hit him with the reverse ass bump. Then we hit him with 3 fucking clotheslines, bump fucking feet, where you knock the fucker down, he jumps right up.
Well. To be fair, though, if people are punching like Jake Shields, I don't think anybody in wrestling's knocking anybody out.
What now?
I'm saying there are some guys in MMA though that don't have the best striking either. I mean, you look at a guy like Jake Shields. I mean, that guy can hit you 50 times and you don't have a real mark on your face.
Well, that's like in boxing. Muhammad Ali never had a fucking mark on his face his whole life, did he?
Yeah.
No. Because he fucking had the world's greatest fucking defense. You couldn't hit the cocksucker.
Yeah.
Right? So there's ways of booking out of everything. But more is less is better, and treat it like it's fucking real.
Yeah. Of course. Now, how long are you going to be on the shelf for? You said you're texting guys an OVW, telling them what to do and whatnot with the classes. How long do you think you're going to be out of action for?
Well, no, I had my left hip replaced August 23rd. I'm thinking 2 weeks. I got to go back to the doctor. I'm thinking 2 weeks from today, I'll be able to go. I can't drive in the car because my hip will fucking vibrate out or something. The bad thing about it is my other fucking hip is fucked too. And I need one in it too, and the left fucking knee.
Sorry to hear that, man. Well, we definitely wish you a speedy recovery, a healthy recovery. You want to tell fans that are listening to this right now where they can find you and more info about your advanced classes?
Well, I don't know.
All right, what's ovwrestling.com? Do you want to tell people more about your advanced class and what it pertains and why they should train with the great Rip Rogers as opposed to Bob the Bum?
Well, wrestling schools, it's not like you're being a doctor, right? And it used to be there was no wrestling school. Now there's wrestling schools that I say on every fucking block. And most of your teachers are retarded and don't know any better and don't fucking get it. But because of financial reasons, hell, if there's a goddamn wrestling school 3 blocks away, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to goddamn bumfuck Louisville, Kentucky, because, hell, wrestling school is wrestling school, right?
Yeah, right.
What the hell's the difference?
Yeah.
Well, there's a hell of a lot of difference, but if you're a mark going in, you don't know fucking anyway. Some guy can tell you he can do this, he can do that, and you don't know fuck all. I just know that I've got 56 or 57 or what the fuck guys' jobs with TNA and WWE that walked in off the fucking street. They weren't the people that they chose. It was guys like Eugene, Nick Dorn, Dinsmore, Damage, Rob Conway, Doug Basham, JTG, Santino, Armando Estrada, Serena, Mike Mondo, one of the Spirit Squad, blah, blah, blah. And
that's a hell of a resume.
Well, that's just the way it is. That's not fucking bragging.
Yeah.
That's just telling the way it fucking is. That's like I was taught old schools. I was mentored by the fucking Papos. Lived with fucking Randy for 4 years. They booked me out. I bought in their fucking business. I was fucking learning from the ground floor of how it was to work. I got to work with guys all older than me, and I just shut the fuck up and listened because I was an idiot. And I realized that. Now guys are in the fucking business 2 years. They work these goddamn independent booth shows. They think they fucking understand it. They watch it on fucking TV, you know. And it's very humbling to come to OVW. It's like I was telling you yesterday. I'd have them fucking WWE superstars coming in for fucking rehab or whatever, and they couldn't have a 3-minute fucking match without fucking talking it over. I'd have a guy and a girl work a fucking hour in front of them, and they get fucking mad and embarrassed. I can't help that, but you're not any fucking good. What it is you're getting paid money because you are told you are good. You must be good or they wouldn't fucking pay you, right? So, you know, but are you any good? No. The thing about it is, if you're not related to somebody and you can't perform, you can't really, if you don't understand the art of wrestling, once your gimmick's over, they can't go to something else and you're not going to fucking make it. Because wrestling's a phony fucking business, and some people get strike one and they're fired. Some people have a DUI and they're gone. I used to laugh how Flair could fucking go woo, be on a plane buck naked, his warm hanging out, and he gets slapped on the fucking wrist. Right? Yeah. And life ain't fair. Wrestling ain't fair. It has nothing to do with fucking talent.
Well, you know what? That's the entertainment business in general, though. I mean, there's always going to be a star system. There's always going to be a pecking order. Some more guys are going to get away with more crap than some other dudes.
It's like I went to high school with John Mellencamp. He's from Seymour, Indiana, like me. He's in my sister's class. His mother worked with my dad at the post office. And here he is. Hell, he was a fucking nerd in high school. Got kicked off the football team for smoking. And didn't know how to play any instruments or anything. And lucked into a thing where he said the reason he got signed was he was just a hillbilly redneck. Everybody else, he went to, not Billy Idol, but I can't think of it, some bleach blonde. And everybody there was trying to imitate the other guy. They chose him to try and give him a push because he was different. So here I am. I've been in this fucking video. We just fucking laugh and shit and whatever. And here this motherfucker's now lives with fucking Meg Ryan on wife number 3, 4, whatever. In Bloomington, Indiana, living their life, living the fucking dream. And here we are with 2 guys from Seymour, Indiana, right?
Yeah.
When I graduated high school, I said I want to go to college, play football, and I want to be a championship wrestler. That's all I ever wanted to fucking do. Didn't want to be a Major League Baseball player, but played in college. Didn't want to be an NFL player, played in college. Scored 2 points in basketball in college. Didn't want to be wanted to be a pro wrestler. And that was fucked up because after when you get pro wrestler, it wasn't cool, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm again, but.
So even though there's a lot of things that do piss you off about the business today, I imagine you still find love doing what you do.
Well, you can't get on anybody for loving fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
It'd be like Bobby Knight chastising the pros because they're not playing the right kind of defense, or there's no fucking teamwork, or it should be in a bounce pass instead of a fucking lob, or they're turning the ball over too much. They need the fucking half-court crap there and that. You love the fucking business, but you get wound up. When you see something done right, you appreciate it. When you see something wrong, it irks you. When you see guys with no talent out there, it irks you. Because you see guys busting their fucking ass. I'm sitting there, I got these fucking divas. The divas they have no business in fucking wrestling. They can't fucking wrestle. They have no fucking talent. Everyone looks the fucking same. If I want to go watch fucking porno, I'll go watch fucking porno. And here they are stealing guys' fucking jobs who bust their fucking ass and live and die by this fucking business.
Well, hold up. Are they really stealing jobs, though, when their matches are about 2 minutes long? I mean, it's like most of the matches are like 2-3 minutes, and you blink or you take a bathroom break, and those matches are over.
How many people are allowed on the NFL roster?
Very few.
How many people are on an NBA roster?
Yeah, very few.
How many people in a Major League Baseball roster? If I got 12 backup catchers, now you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got so much for payroll. You've got so much for fucking slots. It's like in the NFL, especially right now. Well, hell, we're only holding. Well, we got 3 guards. One guy's got to go left and right. We got 3 fucking tackles. We got 3 fifth ends. We got fucking 5 DBs. We got the fucking backup quarterback, but he's also the fucking the holder for the fucking the place kicker, right?
Right.
There's only fucking slots. Now you see where I'm coming from.
Right. Now you don't have. Now let me just make sure we're clarifying for everybody that's watching here. You don't have a problem with women's wrestling, but you have a problem with the majority of the divas that they sign that can't work, that are taking the spots of guys. Would you have a problem with it if they signed girls like say like cheerleader Melissa and more girls like Natalia and Sarah Del Rey who could actually work, as opposed to I don't know, Oksana or something like that?
Ain't got a problem with that. Okay. That would be fucking tremendous.
So you just hate the fact that they sign model types that can't work, that can't run the ropes.
Okay, look at this. I can take any girl wrestler in her 20s, give her a boob job, fix her hair, put makeup fucking on her, give her the exotic fucking interest, but she can fucking wrestle. And that's what wrestling is. Or we have models that have no interest in wrestling. They want to be in Playboy. This could lead to a movie career where I might land some old rich guy or whatever. You see what I mean? They got no fucking interest in the shit. Now, if they're great fucking wrestlers, fucking the cosmetic shit is irrelevant. That's like when I was teaching Serena. Serena just graduated from fucking college at IU. She had a fucking major in fucking Spanish. And I told her, I said, DG, I said, you got to get that nose fixed and that fucking a boob job. Well, you're wasting your time. I said, you wrestle like a goddamn guy. And now she's wrestling fucking Japan in Shimmer, Shine, pay-per-views, and whatever, blah, 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 and she's doing stuff on her own fucking terms. And I said, no, you got to get a boob job, and you got to get that beak fixed. And she did. And then what happens there is sometimes and what happens is if they got models wrestling, that's like they put, I was teaching Linda Miles. Linda Miles could work better than the guys. She had no interest really in wrestling. But she could fucking leapfrog, fucking crisscross. I had her and Rob Conway do an hour fucking match where she had to lead the son of a bitch. And she was better than a lot of the guys. She could care less about wrestling. She didn't like wrestling.
So you're saying that Linda Miles, the forgotten Tough Enough winner, who was she was Shaniqua. Yeah, she was the Basham's manager, Shaniqua. So you're saying she was actually really good. It's just that she didn't know crap about wrestling as far as like history, and didn't care about the business, and that's what did her in. Right.
She was busy on her iPod or playing some video game, and it's like when she got in Tough Enough. Somebody put her in there on a dare. She didn't watch. She was a basketball player. Then all of a sudden, somebody's paying you to learn, so what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I don't want to fucking travel. And they couldn't put her fucking wrestling because she was fucking so dominant as a girl wrestler And then she didn't have the right attitude. That she couldn't understand that she had to lose to these little fucking models, and they couldn't really wrestle. Well, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Like, I've been a fucking owner, a booker, and worked fucking enhancement. Who cares? It's all phony.
Right.
When you're the champion, it's phony. When you're putting somebody over, it's phony. It is not goddamn fucking real.
Right.
That's like everybody's. They're not the fucking headliner in the goddamn movie. Fucking Sly Stallone, a lot of times he's in fucking movies, and you barely see his fucking name on there.
Yeah.
But he loves the fucking business, and he just wants, hey coach, put me in. I just want to play. I'll get on base for you. I'll take one in the fucking ribs. I'll get a walk. I'll bust up that double fucking play. I'll hit that fucking cutoff man. I'll suicide squeeze. I'll knock that guy on his ass. Play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got no trouble with girls that love the fucking wrestling at all. And when they're putting the fucking goofballs out there, but that's just me. Don't mean it ain't right. You know what I mean? I'm just an old fuck, and I can handle it.
All right, Ripple, I really appreciate the time, man. I really, really do. Very candid, very honest. I appreciate all the knowledge you've been dropping. Before we go, though, of course, as people see on the screen right here, they can follow you on Twitter at Hustler2754. You can check out ovwrestling.com for more information on Rip Rogers' classes. You've probably dropped enough knowledge for aspiring pro wrestlers, young pro wrestlers, to learn from. But before we go, what's one thing you want these young guys that are watching this right now that hope to make it in the business, what's one thing you want them to take away from this interview?
Never give up. And attitude is everything. Don't walk into a wrestling school being a non-athletic piece of shit. You know how cosmetic wrestling is. Okay, now there's this guy, remember Abraham Washington?
Oh, God, yeah, I do.
Okay. Now, I called him The Rock. His name was Brian Josie. He was buddies with JTG. They lived together. He had some trouble at home with a wife, girlfriend. Then he left, come back, whatever. He was there. He'd come back to class 2 days. Johnny Ace was there. There was 60 people there. Hell, he got up to 285. Was on steroids, looked like a fucking human waterlog. I said, "Fuck you, stick a pin in you, you'll drown everybody here." I said, "Get off that shit and get fucking cut up." Johnny Ace, where the fucking tryout? Johnny Ace looks over, and there's I called him The Rock because he always liked to imitate The Rock. And he's Brian Josie, Abraham Washington. So I said, Johnny Ace, what the fuck's that over there? I said, "Oh, that's the fucking Rock." The Rock, because he had a three-piece suit on. Everybody else has got their fanny packs on, acting like they're cool wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
He just sat there looking intelligent. He says, "Rock, what do you look like?" I said, "Rock, take your shirt off." He goes, "Fuck, he's shredded." I said, "Can he work?" I said, "Not the best, better than most." But look at his appearance. They gave him a fucking job without, just like that.
Yeah, he had potential too, but he kind of did himself in with that Kobe Bryant joke, and then his reaction after that.
Well, first of all, there's parameters. Yeah. It's like, if they tell you, don't say, if they say go out there and say whatever you want, that's one thing, right?
Right.
Or if they say, hell, he might have been told to say something like that. Nobody's going to admit it. You know what I mean?
Right, but even if like you're released, I mean, Daniel Bryan was even released at one point for something that was considered silly or stupid, and he was brought back. I mean, you say the right things. If they liked him, you know what I mean, and he said the right things, they would have probably brought him back. He would have made some money. Instead, like literally the day he got fired, he's going off on Twitter. I'm like, all right, bro, I don't know if somebody's going to be giving you another job anytime soon.
Well, it's like some things. It's like when Fit got in that trouble, right?
Yeah.
Basically, okay, Fit, you're fired. We'll keep you under the radar for a while, and you get your job back, right?
Talking Fit Finley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Then we have somebody else. They get fucking DUI. They fire them, and then they never see them from the rest of their fucking life, and all they do is they get a DUI one, right?
Right.
And they also keep everybody with their asshole puckered. When you're a boss and you got employees, you want them to know you can be fired for no reason, so you better do what the fuck you're told. Shut the fuck up and like it.
Yeah.
That's like when Vince made megastars. Let's just say Jake the Snake. What did he make Jake do? He was a rib. He had to carry a fucking snake around everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You got the British Bulldogs. What happened? They had to carry their fucking dogs there. They went through how many fucking dogs, right?
Yeah.
Then we had fucking Coco B. Where he had to fucking carry Frankie around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, he's going to make you a legend. He's going to make you a lot of money, but you're going to support motherfucker, and you're going to know who's the boss, and he's the boss, and you're just an employee. You better do as you're fucking told, or you're fucking out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty simple, isn't it?
Very simple. And before we go, one question we actually got from our webmaster Eugene. He heard that back in the day when OVW was contracted by WWE, that there were some people that were against WWE having OVW as a developmental territory because it was taught by people that quote unquote didn't draw, or it was, you know, in a city that's not big, like who would go to Louisville? I mean, that kind of mentality. Now, and one of the rumored opponents of that was Triple H. Now, of course, well, like years later, almost a decade later, here he is spearheading the developmental movement with NXT and the Performance Center and a nice shiny new arena, and they're putting more money into developmental than they ever did. Is there a part of you that looks back at the time with WWE and you say, God damn, if they did that when we were still with them, they would have had even more talent than they do right now?
Yeah, but that's hindsight. That's 2020, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now that's like, oh, they're taught by. Wait a minute. Excuse me. I've worked first match. I've been headline, main event, and territory. Okay. I wrote fucking television. I was a fucking booker. I was a fucking owner. But I have no ego. Wrestling is phony. I remember I was working in Montgomery, Alabama. Me and Austin Idol come in, and Bob Armstrong. He says, He says, you guys got the record. That's what he's talking about. He said, you and Idol just outdrew Andre and Flair in the title match against Ron Fuller. I want to congratulate you. So, but the whole thing about it is, whether I'm working first match or main event, I'm doing the role which I'm fucking asked. What you do is when guys are well schooled and have experience, they can teach you how to work a first match. They can teach you how to work a second match. They can teach you how, okay, that's like, okay, and this is not a knock, okay. Now, I'm going to have Norman Smiley as my booker. I'm going to have Bill DeMott as my booker. Okay? Do I need to say anything else?
I guess not.
You understand it or not?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, there's no ego in this. You just know your fucking role. And it's like, this guy drew money because, A, he was the boss's daughter. This guy drew money. His uncle owned the promotion. This guy drew money. Well, hell, he grew up next to Mike Graham, and he's his buddy. Wrestling is not real. Wrestling is phony as fuck. If you get a chance to get a run, great. But if not, I ain't going to fucking sweat over it because it's fucking phony. Once you get a fucking track, that's like, and then, okay, that's like, I went into work for fucking Ole, and Bob Armstrong had me booked in as National Tag Team Champions to take the Road Warriors place on Bob Armstrong's word alone to Ole fucking Anderson. Then when I fucking go in to work with goddamn, in Tampa when Crockett brought in, because they didn't like me because I had fucking blonde hair, blah, 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 with egos and stuff like that. I went down to Tampa and worked for fucking Wahoo. I'm the little fucking heel there. Wahoo says, I'm going to give you a belt. I said, I don't need a goddamn belt. Get fucking real, you fucking mark. So I go out there and do what I fucking do, and then pretty soon Wahoo's wanting to work with fucking me. With no fucking belt, I don't need a goddamn belt. When I was booker in Kansas City, I never had a fucking belt. And I worked with goddamn Bruiser Brody. He was a fucking asshole and a fucking prick. And so I said, fuck you, Brody. I worked with Ox Baker, drew more money with Ox Baker than I did with fucking Brody. Geigel got mad because Ox couldn't do nothing, but I said, so I worked with fucking Geigel for a while. When he was 63 goddamn years fucking old. But I was a booker, never had a goddamn belt. This is not fucking real.
So I would imagine you don't approve of AJ Lee's tattoo on the back of her neck that is the date of when she won the Divas title.
Well, I guess I used to rib girls. I said, oh yeah, there's Pamela Sue Anderson with that fucking lightning bolt or the barbed wire tattoo on her. That's going to look lovely. That's going to look lovely around her arm when she's 70.
Yeah.
But if anybody wants to fuck up your body with tattoos, that's your fucking business. I remember Thunderbolt Patterson years ago. He had like 3 girls' names with homemade tattoo on his arm, right? And they were all crossed out.
Oh God.
So there's more kids get with tattoos. It's like putting some girl's name on your fucking neck, and all of a sudden she dumps you, and then you know what I mean?
Well, it's on the back of her neck, behind. You know what I mean? Her hair covers it up. It's just she was rumored to not get a lot of heat, but get some ridicule. I mean, even I think JBL ribbed her on Raw on the air because it's like you got the date of your Divas title win tattooed in the back of your neck. Like what? Like it's like I guess they look at her. I guess like you were saying, kind of like a belt mark.
Well, I know this ain't right to tell people. I said you're going to find out that both of the stars are fucking retarded. Wrestling is a business where what Lanny Poffo would call terminal adolescence. You never have to grow up. You can be an old man chasing young girls, not having a real job, not worried about the fucking light bill. You're busy making the town, getting drunk, hopefully getting a blowjob and a fucking six-pack, having a nice Mac, traveling with your buddies, telling different stories. And every day was a fucking holiday, and it was the greatest time fucking ever. And it's still fucking, and it's never fucking changed. That's like most guys when they're fucking pushed, me included. You're pushed, and you ain't got a clue what the business really is. Yeah. In any sport, you don't see young coaches because they don't get it. Mm-hmm. That's like in the NFL. They can't throw. They said, oh, yeah, he finally understands the business, and he's 28, the football, but now he's so fucking beat up from taking an ass whooping he can't fucking do it anymore.
Yeah.
So wrestling is a fucking business where you have failure and you have fucking knowledge. You have all those fucking matches. You'd learn and you'd work different fucking styles with the old guys. What they would do is they would help you, and they'd help you because they didn't want their ass. They didn't want to get hurt. You might hurt them. We was talking earlier about going to. I remember I went up to fucking Calgary. Oh goddamn, they saved me. They hated me because I was an American. I'm taking some Canadian's fucking job. And every place you go in, you'd have to fucking prove yourself everywhere. And you started out in every territory being very fucking humble. Because all that would happen, all they got to do is all the guys could get up to you and go to fucking the owner, the fucking boss, the booker, and bury your fucking ass, and your ass would be out of there. You were the new person coming in. And that's the way it goddamn was.
Yeah. Well, Rip, man, we've talked for over 2 hours. It's been an absolute pleasure. I definitely get a kick out of your tweets. Never at a loss for words, and more often than not, you make sense with what you say as it pertains to wrestling and MMA. We'd definitely love to have you on sometime again.
Okay, Frank. All right, have a good day.
You too, and you can follow Rip at Hustler2754. We'll talk to you